Hello, traders. John at StockBookie.com. Today is March 28th, 2017. This is our live stream that we're going to do tonight. We're going to go over the usual suspects, the SPY, the IWM, and all that good stuff. But as well as if you come to the room, if you come to the room, bring a symbol. We'll take a look at some stuff. But let's get right into the charts on the SPY on the daily chart. So again, pretty good action today. $100.70 up or 0.73%, which is a pretty good showing. 93 million, which wasn't that bad, but you know what? You expect a bounce here. You did come into the 50 MA down in here, and you also almost filled the gap here. I mean, we just missed it down in there. That's what I was waiting for possible bounce, but we did get the 2-day bounce because God forbid if we go down more than 2-3 days here, they got to get it right back up, get it above the moving averages, and then go from there. Hey, what's up, Frank? How's it going, bud? But yeah, so right now, you know, looking okay. They bounced it up, you know, right back into the 382 retrace. This is the 50. This is 618 here, but we still have this big red breakdown bar on some pretty good volume. I think that day was like 133 million. So that's where we're at. Again, though, we're down, sideways, consolidation in a slight bearish manner. Overall, it's a little bit bullish. I don't like choppy, sloppy patterns like this. I mean, you can make a case for it, but you're back below the 20 MA. It's fighting to get back up. Remember, you have a lot of people who were stuck in here who got sold into, and then it gets back up to break even. They might be sellers too, so you have to watch for that as well. So that's the SPY. Let's look at the weekly really quick here. It's a pretty good 2-day bounce, guys. You know, you got to give it to them. You know, hats off to the Fed and the algos and all that good stuff. But again, you almost filled the gap. It's too bad, you know, about by 10 cents and boom, pop goes the weasel right back up. And we're still above this trend line here too. If you go back to the daily, you got to look for that. Wrong date. No, it's got the right date, I believe. No, it's got 328, isn't it? Oh, here. There you go. How's that, Gary? I forgot to put save. Now we have the right date. I did change it. Anyway, so go to the 60-minute. We retrace back up. We try to get above this pivot here. We made it above the 382. This is more a shorter time frame, guys. We follow this on intraday action. Did pop up right in here. It did close below this high. So, but again, nice rebound by the dip. You know how it works, guys. It's alive and well. They're going to keep conditioning the people thinking that this thing will never ever go down. It's pretty amazing, guys. I mean, it's almost making me think that it's never going down, but I'm not going to buy into the crap. So on the IWM, you know, we had nice bullish consolidation. I mean, it was still choppy, up and down, up and down, up and down. Finally, it popped up, came right back in. We're still inside this bar right here. So until we get above the 20 MA and this big red bar, this breakdown bar, and the trend line now, I still think we're heading lower eventually. The volume lightens up. We'll have to see. But this down move, sideways action short term, is showing me there's a possibility that we could continue selling. We only have 5 days of consolidation here. We had a nice pop up from this double bottom. We have a lot of support down here with the 750. But let's see, there was a gap fill and a gap window too. I'm surprised again we didn't get the gap window on the IWM, but hey, that's okay. Who knows? So. Hey, David, what's going on, man? Hey, I'm going through the charts right now. We're going to go, we'll start answering questions and stuff in a couple minutes. So, yeah, this is still an inside bar consolidation, bearish pattern until it pops above this high, right around 138.48. And then I think we're going to be stuck here. But again, we'll probably chop around for another couple weeks or so on light volume, and then we'll take it from there. All right, let's get into the Qs. Same thing, inside bar. They're all pretty much the inside bar. That's what we were talking about in our live videos. We did fill the gap down here, popped right up. Again, I've seen these patterns before. It goes up, retraces, probably into the 750, retrace around here. Let's see if it keeps going. If you're bullish, you need to get above the all-time high and keep going to maybe 134, 135. If this pattern actually sets up, we have 5 days in here of consolidation. I'm looking for a couple more days, and then possibly a down move. But again, light volume markets, 90 million on the SPY, 93 million with the after hours action. Nothing really crazy now. It's pretty amazing, guys. I mean, they're even almost conditioning me, but I'm sticking with my my shorts. I'm adding as this thing's going up, and that's how I'm playing it, guys. I cannot go short in a market that's totally it's not extended, but here we'll get back into that in a minute. So the DIA, Again, came down 50 MA, came down to this little low, popped right back up. We still didn't get above these highs here. If you look at the 60-minute chart, you know, same thing, almost like the SPY. We got to this. Let's put a retrace on. This is a shorter time frame, so I'm going to stick it from this high to this low. You know, 50% retrace. Here's the 618 into this pivot. Let's see if we pop one, you know, up tomorrow into this 207.29 area, and then the possible pullback. But we'll see as, you know, as time goes with this one. But hey, you know what? Hats off to them. Like I said, great bounce up, buy the dip mentality, and keep, you know, conditioning the people out there that the markets are just going to stay buoyant, and make sure you buy them because it's cheap. We're cheap at the highs. Our IYT, these are the usual suspects we look at every day, guys. The IYT, we broke this trend line. We started coming in. We held this low pivot. We did come down and fill this gap as well down here. And we almost made it down to this low pivot. Never did. Pop right back up. Again, this was the weak one leading the charge. This one got a nice bid today. They're trying to go get back above this trend line because that will save the day. And especially if they could get back above these moving averages, all the bulls will get back on board and be like, oh my gosh, this is above the moving averages now. It's in a bullish stance. You got to buy up here. Guys, when markets, you know, just keep going and going and going, you have to put on positions and then go from there. We will eventually be long in these markets, just not right now. USO. USO, this is another one. Look, down, sideways, choppy, sloppy, bearish pattern. Yeah, as long as we're above the MAs, we're okay. Bullish. Everyone was saying, oh, it's bullish. This thing's going to start breaking out. And guess what? It broke down. We were in the SEO trade. We took that. Guys are just following patterns. And the patterns that I'm seeing on the SPY, on the IWM, excuse me, just a little bit overdone, a little bit overextended. We're always getting the retraces and the bounces. And that's how, you know, I'm not playing that. I'm just waiting for the bounce to add more shorts and then hopefully get the down move. Again, we filled the gap here on the USO, got the bounce. It's pretty much short-lived. Again, we're down, we're sideways. This is bearish, choppy, sloppy. They tried retracing it up, came back a little bit, and right back down to fill the gap. I'm still thinking 956 area. We'll see if this pattern plays out. If it does retrace, look at it going to the 20 MA, possibly gap fill, and then taking it from there. But right now, you know, our oil trade's doing pretty good. I can't complain. The UUP, UUP was pretty, no, it wasn't flat. Look at that, it's going up. We talked about this gap fill. We've been talking about it. Didn't fill it here, came right up, reversed right back in, filled the gap the other day, and boom, right back up. Almost to the 200. We were trying to wait for 25 bucks to see if we could go long in the dollar. We'll see if this is just a fake out and then the next leg down. But right now, nothing wrong. If it gets back above these moving averages, hits this big red bar, there's gonna be a lot of resistance up here. If it could do that and start going, then we'll see what happens from there. But again, dollar up, market up, dollar down, market up, dollar down, or dollar up, market up. But I mean, it's just kind of shucking and jiving and see what this thing could come up with. But again, we did come to this area with the gap fill, almost made it there, got a nice little bounce today. And gold came down, but oil went up this time. So it's another opposite move again. You know, it's these markets drive me crazy, guys. That's why I just put on positions. I let them play out. And again, when we put positions on, no more than 10% of your total portfolio in any position. If a trade goes against you, you're not going to get your butt kicked. You know, if you're in a trade, you know, and I'll go up here. One more. Let's look at the gold. And gold, you know, pulled back a little bit, 49 cents. Nothing crazy. We talked about this area of resistance. We know it's here on the daily. We know it's here on the weekly. In the weekly, you have the 50 and the 200 moving average. It got past it, hit the 50. Remember, it hit this one, pulled back a little bit, hit the 50, pulled back. Till we get above this area, you know, I'm looking for a pattern. Let's see if we chop around sideways or maybe a little bit of a wedge. If we get that, then I'm expecting higher prices. But again, with the dollar up, you'd expect gold to pull down as well as oil. But oil, of course, went up today. So it's a little bit disconnected there. All right, let's look at Apple. So I've been going back and forth with a guy today on StockTwits, and he's been knocking me about this Apple trade. But again, guys, okay, if you have a $100,000 account and your max position is $10,000, and you go into this trade and you're adding, say, 2,500, 2,500, 2,500, 2,500 to get it to 10, my stop out would probably be about a 10% stop out. So this would take me to, say, 10% of 144, 14 bucks up. So you'd be at, say, 158. So at 158, guys, if this thing pushes to 158 and it takes my whole 10% on my 10% position, it's only 1% loss in my total portfolio. It does not wipe me out at all. And I'm not in a 10% position in this one. This thing could go to 165 and I'd still be okay. If I lose on it, it would still not be more than a 1% loss in my total portfolio. So if you are up 20, 30, 40, 50% on the year, why is that a big deal? Again, another one was Win. He keeps busting my chops in this one. We're upside down in this one about $5-6. If I'm in a 10% position, it's got to go to, it could go to 131. I'm not even in a 10% position. But I just want to get things straight, guys. I'm all about strict money management, putting in positions that support and resistance, and I'm holding on to these. And if I'm not in a 10% position in something, I'm willing to add more. If I sit in this thing for a couple weeks and it chops around, it's not going to kill me because I'm in a share position. It's not going to decay like an option. And that's the bottom line. Sometimes I'll play options, but if I'm in options, I get a gain, I get the heck out. It's, just hit it and quit it. This win, until it confirms on the weekly, I'm leaving my trade on. We went short here, we shorted here, we shorted here, we shorted here. Well, I don't think let's see. Yeah, you know what? We did short here. We pulled half off, and now it's riding up on us. And that's it. It simplifies everything when you're doing small positions, guys. If you're going all in, you deserve to get your head handed to you. And that's the bottom line. So, all right, let's get into some stuff. Let me scroll back here, guys. Sorry to preach to the choir, but yeah, there's just one thing. Again, if you're taking option positions, you have $100,000 account, do $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 position, no more than 3% at any given time. Sometimes I shouldn't. If you want to, that's you. Me, once in a while, I'll go in on a really good setup where it's like, holy cow, this thing's going to bounce or pull back. I might do, a $5,000 or $10,000 position, depending on what's going on with the overall markets. But again, strict money management is the key to these trades, guys. Also, options, puts. I've been telling everyone no puts for a long, long time. You would have bought puts the other day on the SPY, you're getting your butt kicked again. That's how this stuff works. But again, let me go into the SPY for all you new guys here and girls. And the reason why, I'm going to open this up a little bit more. We don't need the 10-minute right now. I'm going to open this one up. The reason why I'm not going long in these markets, guys, because not that we're at a top, but here's your .com boom. Here's your housing boom. Here's where we're at now. For me as a trader, I cannot take long positions up at the top of the market. If this thing, for whatever reason, starts coming in fast and furious, nothing's safe. If you're in longs, you're gonna get murdered. So I'd rather put on a bunch of short trades and just sit on them and let them come in. And like, again, small positions, if they go up against us. A lot of the trades we're taking and doing, like this, I think Fizz is one of them, just keeps going. This is a stretched monthly play. There is no resistance up here other than 80, 85, resistance, even numbers. I mean, there's a couple other things that I've come up with, but this thing is extended. When the markets pull back, this thing will fall like a brick. These are the plays we're doing. Let it go up. I'm not even close to a 10% position in this. I'll add 3 more times if I have to. If my max position's 10 grand, I'm in here with maybe 5, then I'll go to maybe 1,500, and then go 2,000. So 4 times I can add to this to get to my max position. But as well as I know, if it comes back, if I have $5,000 in this position, it pulls back 5 or 10%, that's going to be, a $500 winner. And if I could do 20 of those a month, that's what we're doing. So it's slow and steady, guys. When you get charts like this, overextended plays on the monthly, you got to go slow and steady. All right, let's see here. I see on stock twist sometimes close post with Fed backstop. Can you explain a little more about what you mean that you're not saying the Fed is buying? Yeah, the Fed has asset purchase programs. They are buying equities in these markets. That's what I'm saying. They have like a $5 trillion balance sheet, and they are buying bonds and they're buying equities. When the SPY was moving up, they were doing QE1, QE2, QE3. That's buying equities. And every day for years at 10:15, guys, it was something called POMO, permanent open market operations. Every day at 10:15, or almost every day, they would drop 2 billion into the markets, 3 billion into the markets, or 600 million, a billion. And those, the funny thing about that is, so they give this money to the institutional players. They put it into the markets to purchase stocks. Okay, but they call it Operation Twist, POMO, a bunch of different crap. So every day at 10:15, the joke was, here we go. Here comes Uncle Benny going to hand out all his cash. But you have to remember, these institutions could get 25 to 1, 50 to 1, 100 to 1 leverage. They put $1 billion out there. They have 100 billion to buy. Why do you think the markets are doing this? And then they're right here. She starts raising those rates. First of all, the free money policies that they've been handing out to people for years, they're going to start getting interest on that. They're going to have to start paying for that money. They don't want that. That's bad for the markets. But look it up. Permanent open market operations under the Federal Reserve. I think they have backdated stuff. But you'll see every day, 10:15, it's like, all right, just get ready to buy. It's going to go up. This is how they condition people, guys. Markets are never going down. Remember in 2007, Ben Bernanke? Oh, everything's good. Housing's great. Blah, blah, blah. Da, 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 da. And all of a sudden, oh my gosh, we got to bail out everybody. Remember here, the .com. Holy cow, everything's so great. You just buy anything and it goes straight up. And then all of a sudden, do. And they wiped everybody out here. Goes right back up, double top. Boom. Right back in the double bottom. Takes off. Federal Reserve. This is their bubble now, guys. And they're not gonna step up to the plate and say, okay, we created the big bubble. It's all our fault. But that's what you got to watch for. They and then here's the other one, guys. All right. So while we're talking about the Federal Reserve and all that crap, so the only people that can move these markets, guys, are central bankers. That's the bottom line. This is the oil chart, okay? And if you go to the let's go to the weekly. Let's go to the weekly chart. So anybody remember when QE3 ended? It ended right here, October 31st of 2014, okay? So as this thing was coming down, as oil was mysteriously coming down because they were ending the last QE program, stimulus program. So the last one that the Fed can do is a stimulus program for the Americans, because we're always last, guys, just like the politicians. We're always last in line. So while they did QE1, QE2, QE3, they couldn't do QE4 because everyone's like, well, wait a minute, if everything's okay, why would we do QE4? That doesn't make any sense. So right here, guys, the only people that can move the dollar are the central banks and the big institutions. But magically, from June of 2014, oil magically goes down to almost the lows. Guess what, guys? Next stimulus plan by our favorite person, Ben Bernanke, and the Federal Reserve. And I don't think Grandma was in here yet. Okay, so that's oil coming down, okay? I'm going to go to the UUP now. UUP, holy cow, from June, it magically went up. Oil or dollar up, oil down. Oh my gosh, what a coincidence. QE3 ends and the oil's at the lows. I honestly, guys, I wish I would have thought about that, because I was thinking about, I was like, okay, what are they going to do next? What's the next stimulus? It's the oil stimulus, guys. That's why I keep telling everyone, oil's not going down. And if you can see my 900 lines, this is down, sideways, bearish action. We're starting to break through this trend line. Oil's going back right here, 776, double bottom. It's just a matter of time, guys. And I'm still thinking 650 if this market really starts to give it up. This is a huge bearish consolidation pattern on the weekly. Weekly charts take a little longer to play out. This thing's starting to slip. But again, Janet Yellen does not need higher oil prices for this Federal Reserve experiment. They've never monetized our debt, buy bonds, buy equities. They never did this. We're in la-la land right now, guys. They don't even know how to unwind this thing. Wait until she starts raising these rates. It's going to get really, really interesting. So again, fantasy land, guys. Dollar up, oil comes down. What a coincidence. Right when QE3 ends, we're at the low. I can't make this crap up, guys. So that's for David. There you go, buddy. You know, that's why every day you got light volume, algorithms take over, and all it does is hold it up. You get heavy volume on the SPY, you're not going to be able to control this thing. Keep an eye on the volume, guys. You get 50 million at 10 o'clock New York time, we got a heavy day. And if it starts to go away, you start getting 300 million on the SPY. I mean, look at this volume trend. Sucks. Yeah, the only time we had good volume was the days we sell 130 million or 145 million, then it disappears. We had 90 million today. Big deal. We start doing 150 million, we're going down. This was just a relief rally to get everybody back on board. Then CNBC, the talking heads, will start. They'll bring out watch for David Tepper, watch for Warren Buffett, watch for Siegel, watch for the permabulls. They'll be on all week now because God forbid, if the markets go down, they got them on the bat phone right now making phone calls going, hey, do you think you could show up on Wednesday and tell everybody the markets are cheap? Just stuff like that, guys. Just beware. The guys who taught me to trade, they used to tell me this crap all the time, and I thought I'd tell them, this is nuts. You guys are crazy. And this was the best one. Remember the Brexit? If they exit, it's going to be a disaster. Straight up. You bought puts right here, you're getting murdered. If Trump gets in, it's going to be a disaster. Straight up. Because everyone bought puts here and everyone bought puts there. Guarantee it. Went straight up, sat there, then they really stuck it to them on here. And everybody bought puts right here. All the small retail, oh my gosh, the markets are going down. It's market turmoil. They all bought it right here. And then boom, straight back up. But we are holding this big trend line. That's key. We start cracking through that, we're heading right here pretty quick, and then we're going to take the next leg down. Again, we're setting up, slightly in a bearish pattern. You're inside this bar until we get above the 20 MA in this area, fill this gap. This thing is going to just chop around in this, up and down, up and down. But, this is one of those things where all of a sudden the rug gets pulled and we're just cranking down. So that's all I'm saying, guys. I don't care if you're long or short, if I'm long or short, just one day at a time, guys. That's all I can really say. So, all right, let's see here. What happened? I'm missing some stuff. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to. All right, there we go. Oh, I don't know. Some stuff was missing. All right, important note to IWM regional banks didn't go up much. Yeah, and the banks too. They're not going up either. They're getting slammed. The banks are talking to us. You got Apple up, a big deal. Like another gentleman said, he got the window dressing at the end of the month, the end of the quarter. They want to make sure they're in Apple position because it's Apple, and if Apple's in my portfolio, it's got to be a good manager, stuff like that. So if I miss your question, punch it in. I'm missing a couple things up here. I don't know where the heck they went, but just punch them in and we'll go from there. Let's see here. Hey, John, taking some April puts for Tesla, Amazon, CMG. We'll get out of the position if put doesn't pay this week. Yeah, I mean, that's the smart thing to do on these guys. If it's not paying, you just exit it. But, it's a little bit tough at the end of the month coming up because a lot of these, people are getting into some of these positions to show that they're in the Teslas. And whichever ones are going up, they got to show some good trades in there on their that's in their portfolio. Looks like they're up $1.55 after hours. Again, it's going up on news, guys. Elon buys this and that, upgrades this. We had the gap fill. See how instead of dealing with the gap fill, because that's big resistance, gap fill, even number. Guess what they do, guys? Gap it up over it. Don't have to worry about it now, but then gap it over the 750 retrace as well. Don't have to deal with that anymore. So these institutional players, they'll put spread some news out there, catch a bid on it. So when this thing opens, it opens up. Because if it opened up right into resistance, it would have pushed it down and probably just stalled out right in here. But no, gap it up. Why not? If you're an institution, you got money, gap it up. Why do I want to deal with resistance right here? Gap fill, 275, which is the big quarter number. Oh, gap it up over it. And then tell everybody, put the talking heads on, give it 2 upgrades, put on CNBC. Oh, Tesla's ready to break out. That's all you're going to hear for the next couple of days. It's going for 300 now. Still has to get past double top this, but you had a nice move up here. You might get a pullback. I would say it stalls out for the weekly options just to destroy the puts. That's how I'm looking at this one. If you're in it today, though, on a put option, I would have went at least a week or 2 out. I wouldn't do it for Friday, but go a couple weeks out on this one and then take it from there. But again, going up on news. If you look at Tesla, this is the one that keeps on giving. I mean, if you like Tesla, I don't care, whatever. I think the cars are pretty cool. You know, I don't know if I'd buy one for 100. I'd rather buy an AMG Mercedes, but you know, here it goes. Comes up, pulls back, comes up, pulls back, comes up, pulls back, comes up. Every time it comes in as big resistance, it pulls back. Now you have a little topping tail on the monthly until it gets above there and confirms. This thing's not going anywhere. You still have big resistance, you know, another 10 bucks up. So, you know, if you can wait patiently for double top, do it there. But this time they might do the Pierce. They do the Pierce to 300, 310. You know, every Tesla fan will be loading the boat because they're gonna cheerlead it, they're gonna upgrade it, they're gonna talk about, they'll probably have special report tonight with Elon Musk and Tesla, you know, and on CNBC at 7. How high can it go? You know, and then everyone will pile in up here. Markets will give it up, and the markets sell. This is going straight down. I still think it's coming down to 180, and then in this area when it's all said and done, it's just the way it is. But until we break above this 300 area and confirm, this thing's not going nowhere. It's just retracing on this topping tail, and that's all. That's in my opinion, guys. But we'll see. Only time will tell. You know, the funny thing is, let's go to Apple real quick. We'll look at the other. We'll look at Amazon and CMG. CMG, we put it a short trade on today. That I do like. But like Apple, right here, guys. We were adding shorts right here. Everybody laughed. Stock rookie, you're a moron, da da da. And I was like, guys, it's going to 90. This was a big area right down here. It says it's going to go to 90 bucks. Well, first stop 100, then to 90. And then one guy I'll never forget, he blocked me on Stock Twits. But he's like, oh, if that thing goes to 90, I'm packing my crap up. I'm never doing this again. And he blocked me. I blocked him. But I see his post. I can't see his post, but I'll see his name going. So he's hyping on Apple now. See, everyone's a trader in a bull market, guys. But when the market pulls back, no one knows. They keep buying the dip. And by the time they get to here, they're broke. They got margin calls. They got this. They got to sell. So as they're dumping, this thing's moving. They're buying right back here again on the hype. That was me 10 years ago. I'm buying right up here. Never again, guys. This is almost the end of the road. I mean, you get 1, 2, 3, 4 days up on the monthly, or four months up in the double top, and then it pierces through. You might go to 150, so I'm prepared for that. But you go through double top. I want to see confirmation on this thing. I want to see what this thing does in the following next week or two. But again, everyone laughed at me on that one, pulled right back, and even Google. We went short on Google. The trade was on Stock Twits. They all laughed at me there too. A couple guys, I'm just gonna start blocking people. They all laughed, and then when this thing came down, I guess it was news or something. They're, oh, you got lucky, this and that. And then I'm saying, all right, you get a big red bar. It's going down lower. And then when it got lower, we covered this way. And then, I go back to look at these guys and they all block me. It's like, why would you block me? That was a great call. And then all the best. We shorted here too. Got that. As it retraces back up, we're shorting again. Why wouldn't you short that? You're back in the double top. Everyone's going, Google's breaking out. Oh my gosh, here comes 900. And all of a sudden, burn, I still think Google's going in 800 bucks or 700 bucks. And then if it goes there, you got a big gap right here around 792. Want to be a buyer there? That's your spot. But this thing consolidates right here. It could possibly go lower. So, all right, let's get into Amazon. Sorry, guys, I'm just blabbing away. So, Amazon here, same thing. Look at that. You got this big inside bar from that sell-off day. It's chopping around. You get this little retrace. Gosh, you got to buy a put or do something right here. It gets up here, stick with it for maybe a week or so. If it gets past the all-time high, then you just got to exit. Do it again. $500 put position, maybe 1,000. That's the most you can risk. If you got a huge account, then go 10, whatever. But don't go 100,000. If you got $1 million account, don't go $100,000. Do 20, do 30. If you have a $100,000 account, do a grand, maybe a grand here. If it goes up a little bit, do another grand. Don't load the boat in these markets. And going long, this is just, it had some support down here. I would love to, fill the gap down a little bit lower, but every time it dips, people get it right back in. Volume dries up on the SPY, boom, right back up. That's how these things are going. So we're up $1.77 after hours, but that could be just a print that went across. But yeah, this here retrace up. If you take the mid levels, we're right back into the 750. Until it gets above this 862, you'll be fine. So that's how I would play these. If this goes up one more time, I might initiate one in my room for the Amazon too. So that's how you know what, guys, I don't know what's going on here. It's this thing, my live chat's going up on me and I'm missing people's stuff. Why is that doing that? Hold on here. Let me open this up a little bit, guys. Can I open that? Hold on here, guys. Yeah, I'm losing some stuff. If you guys have positions you want me to get into or look at, punch them in. For some reason, my stuff's I can't scroll back in my feed, so I don't know what's going on here. All right, so let's go into CMG. We'll look at that real quick. The CMG, same thing. We initiated a short on StockBookie.com. And if you're not a member, go there, sign up. You'll get our trades. We'll be doing some puts and calls and stuff too. Right now, we're just doing shares. Just go small. Like I said, if you have $1,000 or a $100,000 account, do $10,000 positions. That's your max. Start with 5 or start with 2,500. Boom, boom, boom. This is a great area to start right here. 425 gets the double top in here. A little bit higher. I'll add a little bit more. 10%. 10% stop out is a $42 stop out. This thing can go to 60, 70 bucks, and I'll still be all right. If I take the right size position. That's what we got to do. But as this thing goes up right into this area, got to do something with it. We get a quick pullback for 10, 20 bucks, we'll be out. Done. That's a great setup. Great trend line. Look, we shorted here. We shorted here. We shorted here. We shorted on this one too. We even shorted on that one. I mean, how many times, even if this trade goes against us, we took 6 trades short on this thing and for winners. I don't care. On to the next one. That's how we do it here. Gosh, I don't know why my feed's not doing this here. All right. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with my feed. Let me see if I could do something else here to get back to that. Yeah, I don't know why. Every time it's scrolling down, it's just, it won't let me go back up, guys. Sorry. All right. If you have any stuff, just keep re-entering it. I'll go through it. I'll keep going through it here. Yeah, it's going too fast. I can't follow it here. Playing options would kill you, though. Some of us do play options. Yeah, George, but if you got to watch the positions that you're taking. Gary, I know I got killed playing out of the money options at the beginning of the year. My position size was too large, blew up the account. Learned, yeah, got to go small. You got it. You could take positions. If you have a $10,000 account, take $500 positions, $250 positions. If you take 20 of those, you're not going to get your head beat. So you could take those, just take small. You get 100% winners, you get out. You can make your 250 and get that, be done. That's it. The higher volatility creates a bearish megaphone now. Careful. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's all right. You know what? When you get a big move like that, it could go up a little bit more. I'm playing on the bet that the markets are going to be going down. That's how I'm doing this right now. When the markets are at the top, I'm not going long in anything. Like I said earlier, I'm just not. That's not the way I play these markets. Everyone, even when I first joined StockTwits, guys, I caught that $1,000 move or 1,000-point move. I was short for about a month and a half, and everybody ripped me. Oh, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. These markets are going up. And when they went down, everyone blocked me, of course, again. But that's how I did. I was in probably 30, 40 positions short, and they all came pounding down. And when we had that 1,000-point down day, guys, it was flipping Christmas. And the funny thing is, as it was coming crashing down, everyone, markets in turmoil, this and that, we covered all our positions that Monday, and we went long. We started nibbling long. We didn't ride it that much, and then we did it again. We shorted again. We went long, we didn't catch every move going up long. We just got in and got that couple-day bounce and took the money and ran. And of course, it rallied for the next 5 months. But, that's what we're doing here. Really appreciate that. Yeah, no problem, David. But that's what these guys are doing. Unlike Biome, these guys go freaking straight up. How do I follow you, Bookie? Go to my website, sign up for the membership. It's free. And you'll get the emails. You'll get an email before I go live. But you could go to StockBookie or StockTwits. I'm on there. YouTube, you can subscribe to that channel. But the main one, everything's going to be eventually be on my StockBookie channel. Or on my StockBookie website. Again, it's free. Sign up. I'll add you to the email list and stuff like that. So if I missed anybody's questions, punch it in again. I don't know what's going on with my stream here, and I don't want to bounce around and screw something up and then I lose all you guys. You know what? Let me try one more thing here. Yeah, I don't know why, because usually I could scroll back and see everyone's questions and stuff. All right. Oops. All right, here we go. Yeah. All right, here we go. I got it on another screen. All right, here we go, guys. All right, so CMG, David, this is EOQ window dress. Yeah, exactly, Gary. You got it. And they're just putting, sticking all these high flyers up everyone's, even double tops are just blasting through. The cup formation followed by handle. Yeah, you know what? I don't really follow the cup and handle on anything. It's so hard to figure out. I mean, if you look at Tesla, let's go back, guys. I can actually go back on this one. Oh man, sorry guys. Been a day. I've been out about running around. Just came back in. I wanted to do some live stuff this week. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess you can make a case of that. But when do we get the handle over here? I don't know. All I know is we're back into again, they gapped it up over the gap fill because they don't want to deal with the resistance and the 750 retrace, which is big resistance, and they just held it. That's what these guys did. I was telling a couple people, I'm looking at the 283, 287 number because if there's more news, it could easily go up another 10 bucks. So I might as well wait for double top 290 then 300 if you can be really patient on this one. That's what I would do with that. I'm conditioned laughing loud, but it's the right time now. I'm strictly scalping. Yeah, or you could do that, bud. You could scalp all the time. That's fine. AMD. All right, yeah, let's get into some of the. Yeah, I could get in my feed now. I don't know why my feed didn't let me do that. All of a sudden, it just started disappearing. Well, AMD, we're only down a penny today. But you know what? We came back in. Couldn't get past this red bar. Came right back. Tried it again. Filled the gap. Couldn't do it again. Just not enough strength in the stock. You see how the light volume's coming in? Basically, they need an upgrade, a buyback, a talking head to come on and tell everybody AMD's the best stock ever. You got to get into this thing because it's cheap. For me, guys, this is what I'm looking at. I've been doing videos on this one too. I just hate. I've been there, guys. I'm the guy who bought right here at 1550 on this push up. Oh my gosh, everybody's doing it. I got to get in. It's AMD. It has to go up, guys. This was a year ago, year and a couple months, it was $1.77 stock. You have a huge overhead resistance right here. The next area would be 1622 until it pops through 1553. This one's not going anywhere. You're just getting choppy, sloppy action. But you're down and in a channel right now. This is slightly bearish. You're still kind of bullish because it's trying to hold on to the 20 MA. You're above the 50, you're above the 200, but this is just kind of chopping. And pretty much, everybody gets in, then they come out, and they go, oh my gosh, it's going down, oh my gosh. Then it goes in, they chase, comes down, come up. But this trend line right now, that's something we're going to be watching. If it could get above that trend line, then let's see the next step will be the 1468. Then you still have a gap fill here right around 1496. Then you have double top. So you got to watch out for all that stuff. Before it even starts running, you have big resistance. Just like before it starts falling, you have the bottom pivot here. You do have a couple gap. Well, you have a gap fill right here. You have the 50 MA. You have the double bottom. And then, down here, you have the gap fill at 1038 and so on and so forth. But right now, it's really not giving us anything other than trying to pop up. And every time it pops up, comes right back. Pops up, comes right back. So that's telling me there's some sellers up here, possibly distributing. So until it gets, above this trend line, above this pivot here around 1467, it fills the gap. We're just going to see sideways action possibly for the next move. Now, the thing with the AMD, with any stocks, guys, right now is if the markets dump, this will go down, period. If the markets keep going up, it might go up. We were at what, 150 up on the Dow today, and this thing couldn't even catch a bid? 150, 52 on the Dow. Couldn't even catch a bid today. So to me, that's a little bit weak. They got all the ones like the Winds running, the Philip Morrison running, the Priceline was running, the Googles were running. They were all running. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, the rally just keeps the Trump rally. Remember on Monday, the dump Trump or Trump dump, and they're making all these new names, and then the market rebounds back, and it's like everyone's like, whoa, what? I thought the Trump trade was over, So that's all they're doing, guys. It's classic distribution at the tops. That's all what's going on, especially at the SPY. NVIDIA and AMD looks like they're both forming a head and shoulder pattern. I think John talked about formation. Yeah, it's a little bit. This one, I mean, you could see it somewhat. Here's your shoulder. I mean, if you squeeze them in a little bit. I just don't like when it's like kind of floating out here, like they're waving their hand, or their hand or their whole arm. I like a little tighter pattern, like if this would have went up, boom, your typical head and shoulder basically. And this too, this goes through price on the neckline. I don't like that, but I have it in there. If it does play out, I've been telling everybody, 10 bucks. If it does crack this trend line, crack the 50 MA and start going, this is where you're going, 971. And then and if it gets down here, you're going right to here, 874. And then if you want to buy AMD, right there, guys. And if you're long already, just let it go up. Don't chase it up here. If the markets pull back like I think they do, this will be a $10 $8 stock again. Buy it down here. Don't buy it up here. Just don't chase it. Again, long or short, I don't care. Right now, I'm just short a lot of stuff. So IYT went up on the EPA repeal today. Yeah, that's fine. You know, it didn't go up because of that. I mean, that was part of it. It went up because it was cracking this trend line, breaking these lows here, and this thing was ready to start breaking down and going to 152. And it was like, oh my gosh, what do we got to do to get this thing back up? As long as we're back, you know, as long as we're below this trend line here and below the moving averages, I'm waiting for a pattern here. If we just chop and slop, these moving average come into price. This should push it down to at least 152. And if that starts giving it up and the markets start going, you got a couple gaps to fill down here. You know, I mean, this isn't a bad area around 150. You got the gap fill, but if it really starts coming in, you're going to fill these gaps, and you might even go lower down in here. So, you know, again, one day at a time with these stocks, guys. You know, that right now it's not really giving us much. It had a nice pullback here. We touched this pivot. They saved the day yesterday and today. Just got to respect what they're doing. See how the volume was light too. That volume wasn't the best. I mean, it wasn't the, you know. So this, I guess you can't really tell. It's only 500,000 traded on the day. But yeah, I mean, let's see if we get back above this trend line, get back above these moving averages. Then maybe, yeah, higher prices. But until that time comes, then also if you want to take a shorter retrace level, we're probably into the 382 coming up. Yeah, look at that, 382, right? Hit it perfectly. So we're into the 382 retrace on the Fibonacci. If we get a little higher, you know, right here, you're not short the IYT around 167.90 to 170 would be your target area to possibly go short. But if you're short already, you know, just ride it. And as long as we stay below this trend line of moving averages, it should start turning down. And again, we're waiting for a pattern here. Another more, you know, I'd like to see another week or two of consolidation and then possibly the drop. So that's what we're kind of looking for on that. Let's go back to NVIDIA, though. Talking about head and shoulder. Let me look at that. No head and shoulder here. Nope. No, I see what you're looking at, but yeah, this would be your neckline. This crashed through it, came right back up. I mean, you can make a case. Not for me. My head and shoulders, I like to see it something different than this, but you can make a small case. And if that was the case, you know, this is how you do the target, guys. You go that to the neckline, and you take this bar, and that's usually your target right there. That's where this thing would go if this was a head and shoulder. And look how it goes. It goes right to gap window or gap window, then gap fills right down here. So that would be your target if this comes down. That's, you know, right around 70, 78 bucks. But this is the one, you know, on the monthly chart. It's just an extended play. This one comes in. This one will easily be $80 to $70 stock if the markets come in too as well. So just be prepared for that. Let's see. I went to XLE is bouncing off the logical support area. Let's see. XLE. Monthly chart. Let's look at the daily. Let's see, gap window. Yeah, you got the gap. Yep, almost. Look at that. They're just coming a little bit short. I would love to have seen this one down here, but they're not. You know, they're kind of retracing it back. Almost filled the gap right at 67.80. Got the bounce. Like everything got a bounce today, guys. Light volume, underlying bid, algos took off, Fed backstop, the whole 9 yards, just pushing this thing up. So, but you have a little bit. I mean, this thing, you know, it sold pretty nice, guys. This thing was 79 bucks to 69 bucks. That's a nice little haircut there. So, can this thing retrace back up? Damn well it could, you know. But if you're bearish, you need to get above these moving averages. You need to get above this blue line. You need to get above this breakdown bar here. That's going to be a lot of resistance, as well as this one, as well as that one, as well as this one. All these big red bars, that's going to be a lot of resistance. So let's see if we can go back up. But let's take this here. Now that we're going to go a little more short term, I want to go a little short term Fibonacci. I'm going to go here to here. So, you know, right now, 250 retrace, you have this, and that, you know, this is probably your big area around 71.85 to 73. Right in this area, you could probably short again. If it gets past there, and then you got to think about stopping out. If you do half position, you could probably ride it out to double top and add the rest there. That's what I'm saying. Position size is so important on these things too. But yeah, you're getting a bounce, but you're getting a bounce because the markets are getting a bounce, and that's just how this stuff works. That's why I say when I do hashtag market trade, the markets are going up, you're most likely everything else is, unless there's some news or something dumping or something like that, then you're looking at that. So, all right, let's go the NUG nugget. No, I don't really look at the nugget. I just look at gold. Yeah, I can't. These things just have a mind of its own. But I mean, if I looked at this thing, this looks a little bit bullish as long as it stays above the 20 MA. you have a good likelihood of this thing's going to pop up. If it gets back below the 20 MA, this is going to be your big area of support. If you take a lower trend line here, you got this for support as well. So, you know, if you're long in this one, you start cracking this, cracking the, you know, double bottom here, you're most likely going down to here. So just be careful. But this is not a bad bull flag here. Still a little bit bearish because you're down and sideways, but this up moving sideways a little bit bullish. You need to stay above the 20. You need to get above the 50 MA. You get above that, then shoot, this thing could probably run to 1228. If it really starts to rumble, 1371. And then if it really just starts going, you're looking probably right here at the 200 MA at 16 bucks. So, but again, if it gets below this 200 or 20 moving average, gets below this pivot and breaks this, you're most likely going down to the $5 area. So be careful with that one. And who wins Masters? I'm not sure what you're saying. Playing options would kill you, though. Some of us do play out. Yeah, I hear you, George. I play options once in a while. You just got to know your position size with those, and that's the bottom line on that. Don't. If you have a $10,000 account, don't go 9,000 in one shot. Go 1,000, then do another 1,000, then take the 8,000, spread it around. Look for new setups. And if you're in an option and that thing doesn't start pulling back within a week or two, get the hell out. Don't sit in it and let it decay. That's why I don't play a lot of options, guys. I got killed playing tomorrow. I got killed playing options out of the money options beginning of the year. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, it's exactly. I got my ass kicked plenty of times, guys. I learned. I used to go all in on everything, and it worked. And I was trading in 19 gosh, I want to say 97, 98. Anything I bought, it just went up. It was like, oh my gosh. I'd call my mom and be like, oh my God, I bought Apple. It's up like $7. It went from 80 to 87 or 70 bucks when Apple was like 60 bucks or whatever. It's like, oh my, and then I was buying whatever I bought went up. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm so great at trading, until they pulled the rug and it was like, oh my gosh. Then I was trying to buy it. It's got to go up. I got to buy it. Gosh, I'm going all in again. Then all of a sudden margin call. What does that mean? Yeah. What does margin call mean? Yeah, you got to sell something or put more cash in there. Oh, okay. So if I just sell it, that'll be okay. All right, then I'd sell it. Then I'd sit. It'd go down a little bit more. I'd pile in again. It would go down on me again. It'd be like, and all of a sudden margin call. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to sell something again. And then pretty much try to buy the dip all the way down from 2000 to 2004 or 2 or so or whatever, and lost a ton of money. And that was it. Then rode it back up again in 2007, and they started doing it again. And then I started learning, and never looked back, guys. So let's see here. Yeah, the higher volatility creates a bearish megaphone now. Yeah, that's CMG. Yeah, I see that. Hey, I just got on here. Hey, Jonathan, what's up, bud? Bearish megaphone on what chart? He's talking CMG. I'm pretty sure. I'm way behind, guys, on the question, so I had to go to another screen and start another one. Let me see here. Let me shut that one down. All right. All right, let's see. Yeah, this is the bullet. This is the megaphone here. So you see how there's charts. See how you have the upper one here and then the lower trend line there, and it's starting to squeeze. So let's see if this is the top. It might still go here. I initiated a trade on my StockBookie.com site. It is private. You have to be a member. It's free. It's free, guys. You don't have to pay for it. I might charge one day. We'll see. It's easier to make it free. Then I don't have to, I try to keep up with it. If I do it, if I charge, then I have to probably hire somebody the more I think about it, because it's hard to trade, hard to do all that stuff, hard to send out emails, trade, make money, do live stuff. But we'll see as time goes by. Again, enjoy it, guys. I'm going to do more live streams. I love to trade, guys. I love to teach people and hopefully put you guys in the right side of the trade. That's really what I'm all about. And again, money management. I'm going to keep preaching that. But this was the megaphone he was talking about. Again, you're at the top of this range. We shorted this thing. I'm telling you, short here, short there, short here. I believe we shorted here. But a lot of these, we took our, $6, $7, $8 and just got out. You take a couple hundred shares, boom, you make a grand or two and done. We don't load up in these positions. I could load the house with 1,000 shares of this, 2,000 shares. I go a couple hundred. That's all you need. It pulls back 20 bucks. That's a hell of a trade. It's a marathon, guys, not a sprint. So let's see. Really appreciate the answer. Yep, no problem. 100% correct. How do I follow you, Bookie? Yeah, Twitter, I'm going to slow down on. I'll still have stuff there. I have a bunch of trades out there. I'm going to try to finish them out. But like I tell people, if you're in a trade and I put you in it and you're up 10%, I'm out already. There is no questions about it. that's it. I'm moving on. But you could follow me there. But ultimately, it'll be stockbookie.com. Sign up and do that. That's where all my stuff's going to be eventually. And a lot of stuff's going private. I just started a Vimeo account, so I'm going to post stuff there. So if you're not a member, you won't be able to see anything. I'll still do stuff on YouTube and all that because I want to get a bunch of followers, get a good group of people together. I'd like to have a chat room where we all can be in and chat and, hey guys, I'm taking these options. Hey, what do you think about these? I don't do options a lot, guys. I'm still learning. I know where to take the trade to do it, but for me, I want to know what option's going to give me the best money for a 2-day pullback on a stock like CMG here. This thing hits here. What's the best option here to buy? Where if I get a 2-3-day pullback, what's the one that's going to pay me the most? Is it going to be the weekly? Is it going to be 2 weeks out? And what price on this one? Knowing that if it hits, for all you option guys, send me an email. So this one, we put a trade on this today. I'm in shares. I'm not buying options. But if I took an option trade right here at the price, say 427, what would be the best option to play? Thinking that if the resistance hold, we get a nice 2-day pullback, 3-day pullback to maybe 410, 413 area. What would be the best option to give me the best premium and the biggest bang for the buck? Which one would that be, guys? If you know that answer, send me an email. You could post it up here. I can read it. And eventually, guys, I'm going to do stuff on GoToMeeting where we can all talk. Sometimes I just don't want to talk. But yeah, so let me know if you took the trade here at 427, what's the best option to play to give me a 3-4 day pullback and get the hell out of this thing? But I'd still like to be in this thing maybe 2 weeks or so. I don't want to play it for Friday expiration. If they do, I would play it for maybe a week or 2 weeks out, maybe 3 at the most. But really, it's just a short-term trade. I'd like to see 3 days of bleeding, and who knows? Maybe it goes to 400. Who knows? But let me know on that or any of these stocks. That you get a big move, or even let's go to Tesla. What would be the best one to buy today after a 5-day up move into this area? What would thinking that, okay, if Tesla hits this resistance here and it pulls back, you're gonna buy that option around 278, 79, and then I'm expecting a pullback maybe to 257, 260 area. Just for argument's sake, what would be the best option on the weekly, maybe 2 weeks, and knowing that I could be in this thing maybe for a week or so. All right, guys. That's a little homework for you guys. If you guys are real good option players and really understand them, send me an email, stockbookie@gmail.com, and we can discuss this. I've been talking to some really good option players in a private chat. Maybe I can join, have you come in there and you could be part of the group too. I just want to know. I don't want to put any trolls on my stuff. I got enough people on StockTwits busting my balls about my 1-day position that I just put on. It's like I'm a swing trader. So, all right. Oh gosh, this thing's disappearing too. See, I got the same thing going on. Now I can't go back on this one. Hold on, guys. So snap, unbelievable. I love when you get the little glitches in this software. But the internet, it's helping us out so much. All right, let me start a new window now. All right. All right, hold on. All right. How about Snap? Yeah, I don't know why it keeps bouncing up. All right, Snap. Yeah, Snap's just not, for technical guys, just not enough. But let's see what we can see on here. Let's see why. Well, first you got the gap fill. That's first that rings out at me. It's like, whoa, you filled the gap, came back to good resistance here. I'm thinking you probably came to a 50% retrace. So let's see if we go to the orange line. I don't think we did the. Yeah, so we went to the 50 retrace. We went to the 24 even number. That's going to be natural resistance, and we filled the gap right to it. Boom, and you have this kind of a high pivot. So you have 4 reasons why this thing can bull back: high pivot, gap fill, 24 even number, and the 50 retrace. Boom, bam, because you got everyone chasing. We were talking about 20 bucks maybe to possibly nibble. God, 19 was the area. See how 19 was support? Pierced it and took off. But for me, boom, boom, you get 1 day here, like 2 bucks. I would have been half out. Fill that gap, I would have been out right here. Most people are holding because they think it's going back up. Markets give it up, guys, this is going to be a $10 stock. 10 bucks, I'll probably start to nibble. So be careful with that one, please. Panera. Yeah, Panera. Let's take a look at that one. Yeah, that one is still just another high flyer, guys. That's, it just keeps going and going. It's Panera, guys. Come on. Yeah, it's almost time for this one. It's getting there. It's overshooting. That's like the name of the game right now, guys. Everything's overshooting. Even when it got to here, it should, when it's starting to hit this, it looked like it went to the 250 area, going a little bit more. Honestly, is that the monthly chart? Yeah. I mean, see how it was extended here to here. You're always getting away from the 20 MA, comes in, pulls back, comes in, pulls back, comes in, pulls back. And then even when it goes under the 20 MA, it comes in. It's like this is the shore, this is the ocean. Eventually, the ocean's got to come back to the shore. Look at here. It's extended from the shore right back in. This is a pretty good extension, guys. If you have any room left in this trade, add a little bit more up here. It could go a little higher, possibly, but it's almost time for this one to come back home to mama. And when this one does, and the markets go, I mean, this can easily come down to 183, 205, 183 area. You got this double bottom here. So that's, let it keep going. If you're underwater in the trade, unfortunately, it's a monthly chart. It might take another month to play out or so. When these come in, guys, they will come in fast and furious. As long as the economy market will keep heading north, someone is spamming me on StockTwits. In StockTwits, economy market will keep heading north. Someone is spamming me. They're getting you too, bud. Yeah, you know what? Just block them. That's what I've been doing. It's hard not, I have people talking shit all the time. And today I just started blocking. I actually finally blocked that Power guy or whatever his name is. But I'll be unblocking him eventually when these markets come in, and then I'll say my last word to him, and that will be it. But it's funny, these guys, they send me emails and they want to team up, and you're a good trader and this and that. And then I didn't respond to any of his emails, and then he comes and attacks me. It's like, I have a couple guys that I trade with, and those are the guys I want to trade with. Sorry. That's it. Let's see. AAOI. Wow. Yeah, see this stuff actually okay, here, let me explain something to you here. So on a Fibonacci level, guys, okay? If you have stock like this, take it from 0, you go to 100. That's your starting point. Here's your 618. 62 bucks, 75. Anywhere up in this area, that's where you're going to start taking this trade. There's really nothing up here. There's some other mathematical stuff I would have to do some work with here on this one, but that's like your first step when there's nothing here. Again, super extended. I don't know what this is. It's got to be going up on news or something, but this one's almost the end of the road. If you're long in this one, tighten those stops. If you want to short it, if you could wait patiently another 4 or 5 bucks, I'd put a position on at 62. A small one, I'd probably add it around 68, add a little more at 72, 73, and then maybe use 76, 77 as a stop out. Small position on this one because we really don't know where it's going to go. Other than a Fibonacci level like that. I have some other ways to figure stuff out, guys. I've been testing for the last couple of years, and it really, really works well. But that's just natural. The Fibonacci's, you got the 250, 382, 50%. So on this one, you're looking at 25, the 382, the 382, the 50, the 618 or 6180 area, the 75 areas, just stuff like that. So but this is way overdone. If you're long, tighten that stop up. If you want to short, if you could get above that 60 to 62, you could do it there. You could still overshoot, so don't load the house, but gosh, what a beast. Yeah, it's time. This time will come. Here, look at this one. We shorted at one point. I show this one a lot. We shorted this one. I mean, look at this one. I mean, this is another one. Just up, and then boom, comes right back in. It still took 1, 2, 3, 4 months to come back in, but that was a great short. We did this one here. We did this one twice, actually. This is another one. Boom, go. It was like, oh my gosh, here we go again. It's going higher, maybe 120, and then boom, comes right back in. We're out of this trade now, but we shorted. We did this one twice. This one was great. Bounced up on here. We took it here. Boom, came in, covered it, popped it. Bullish pattern, pops again. We started short. Our average price was right around 112.50, I think, and boom, we took it off. I still think this is going lower. This is setting up for lower prices, so be careful with THO. Let's see, RH. Let's get in some more charts, guys, instead of stories by me. RH, almost there. We had this one on watch. RH, you have 39.27. And this little trend line here, and that's got to be coming from some high pivots. Yep. So apparently we looked at this one earlier and you have a gap fill right there. So if you can really wait patiently, if you're long, tighten up the stops. If you want to go short, around, maybe another buck or so, if you can make it there in this area, definitely short it. Actually did it, wait a second here. Oh, after hours, there you go. Hold on here. So it pops up. Look at that, pops up over resistance. Right there's your next area right here. 46 bucks where it's at, 44. Did it make it there today? Hold on, let's look at it. So 44, so 46.82 was big resistance. Let's see if it made it there after hours. I don't know if it did or didn't. Nope, not yet. So that's where it's stopping. So it's stopping right around the high of the day. After hours was 45 bucks. So let's do this. Let's take the time back off. So let's look at 45 bucks on this chart to see if there's anything at 45 bucks. 42. Nope, not really. You got a little pivot. Let's go a little bit further. Let's open up the weekly chart just to see if there's anything on the weekly. About 45 bucks is where it stopped. Yeah, next stop, 46.82. It goes there, but it could possibly overshoot and go to 52.51. But this could be a good fade play if the markets are fading. But I'd still wait to get it up in here. Yeah, I mean, that was a great area on earnings they must have or some news, so it's popping up. Next area would be 46.94. And then let's even go with the bigger fib now. Actually, you know what? We didn't look at the fib. Let's go with Fibonacci from the lows here. Look at that high pivot right there. Let's see if there's a fib there. 43, 47. So 43.67. That was a 618. Unfortunately, hold on here. I think I could do that. Yeah, so around 44 was the 618. So that's kind of stopping. It overshot there. I'm surprised it didn't get the 46 or 47 area. Keep an eye on this one. It had some news, so I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe earnings or something. But right back up. Look at that. Right back to double bottom. Then boom, markets go up, and this thing pretty much follows the same thing. We're at 44.24. Resistance was at 44.77. So right there, you got the breakdown area. So that you're going to have a lot of resistance up in this area. If it does shoot up tomorrow, maybe 47.48. If it goes through there, then you're looking at this big breakdown bar around 52.82. $50 even number too. It's not bad. AMD, I did go through AMD already. I'll go through it real quick right here. You go back to the video. But AMD really doing nothing, flat on the day. Chopping around, nothing great. As long as it stays below this trend line, you're just probably going down. If it gets above it and pops through, fills the gap and all that good stuff, you might be going for 15.55 or the 16.22. It's in the video, sort of in the beginning. So again, nothing really wrong, just chopping and slopping. And we're going to see what happens with this in the next couple of days. As long as it stays below the 20, we have a better possibility of it coming in. But, strong stance, chopping. Basically, I think it's just getting more bulls in. As long as it doesn't go down, people are, oh, man, I'm buying more. Every time it dips like 50 cents, they just keep piling in. Eventually, if it does go down, I'm still thinking, 867. We're down in this area around 10 bucks or so. So we'll see if the markets are dumping and really going, then you're looking at lower prices on everything. Crazy bulls, everyone thinks they're a genius when the market's going up. Yeah, that's how it is sometimes. That's why I say that everyone's a trader in a bull market. Even me, guys, 10 years ago, I was that trader. Oh my gosh, anything I bought, it just keeps going up. And then when it went down, I just kept buying, margin and everything, and I got wiped out. It was like, oh, this is great. Now what do I do? And then as soon as you're wiped out, the markets go screaming up for 7 years. And you're like, oh my gosh, if I only had the money to put in the markets. Or how about that? Go all in on that one position and it goes up on your, did it go, and then goes up on you forever. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm getting my butt kicked right now. So says confirmation key to markets going higher. Yeah, you know what, Sal, I play confirmation too. But that's not the key for everything. It is. Here, and I'll explain something to you guys. Well, like Apple today. Yeah, this is a bullish base. Not the best. When you're floating up like this, I want to see more of a wedge. I want to see a wedge going in the price, retracing, then the pop. I don't want to see this bull, float, kind of just doing whatever, pulling back, going in. Basically, they're killing options right now. They're killing puts right here. That's what these guys are doing. The markets are holding on no volume. It just chops around. and we get this pop out of nowhere. Apple has to lead. Remember, 2 years ago, Apple went up, the markets would go up. Apple goes down, markets go down. They're kind of trying to do that again. They need a reason to get Apple up. You know, the red iPhone, and you know, they revamped the iPad. They made it smaller and painted it blue. You know, stuff like that. So all of a sudden, everybody gets in, and then Buffett buys in after earnings. Oh my gosh, that was just like, you know, the kiss of death for the puts. You know, but again, we're going into double top. I got to put a trade in here until I see this thing push up a little bit more, especially on the weekly. You know, until it gets above, and if it closes up here, I want to see it continue on volume. Then it will confirm up. But again, my position in here, this thing could go to 158, and I still won't get my butt kicked. It will be like a 1% loss in my total portfolio. Big effing deal. That's what these guys don't understand, especially that guy. He plays options. I'm sure he's a good option player. I don't really care. But I could get in these positions. I could sit in them. I don't care. A 10% loss would go another 14 bucks for me. That brings me to 158, 160. I'd go above the even number. So if it goes to 158, 160 area, I will lose 10% on this position. But since I have less than a 10%, if I had a 10% position, I would lose 1% in my total portfolio. Wow. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. I better go shoot myself in the head. That's what I'm saying to that guy. And he's ripping me on the win trade too. If win could go to 125 and I still won't get my butt kicked in that trade. That's how I play these. I have wide stops with small positions. And if they come in real quick, good. I'll get my 500 to a grand and I'll be out. I don't care. Or whatever I put in that position, you know. But if I make 5,000 or 500, 1,000, 5,000, whatever I make on a trade, as long as I'm making money, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. So that's what, yeah. So Sal, that's what he's saying. Yeah, I understand confirmation. Damn right I do. But you know what? He might have a different confirmation than me, you know. But the thing is, you know, because I see him in some of his trades, and he'll say, oh, you know, wind's about to break out, and then all of a sudden it starts breaking down, and then he's like, you know, oh, well, it didn't confirm. But then 3 posts ago, he said it did confirm. So it's like, did it or didn't it? So it tells me, like, he'll tell you it confirmed right here. Then when it breaks down, he'll say, oh, no, it didn't confirm. So it's like, all right, whatever. But right now, you know what? Apple's going up, whatever. You know what? Let it go up some more. I could care less. So. Let's see, AMD, everybody market. What's with AMD? Is everyone in the market in that stock? Yeah, right, pretty much. Well, that's everyone's in stock twits on that one. He trades AMD a lot. I don't even know, to be honest with you. I looked at his stuff because he was talking crap about my win trade, and then he's talking crap about my Apple trade. But the funny thing here, let me show you something, guys. All right, here's my StockBookie thing, okay? If you go hashtag StockBookie trade, all my trades come up, okay? Halliburton, we covered that one. FedEx, moving lower, we did that one. We covered Google trade. We covered half of JPM. We did the DIA. We covered the last half of the SPY. Covered the last half of IWM. We covered some of the MTM. We covered half of the Adobe. We took the IBB. We covered half. That was epic, the IBB. I even posted something. We did win already. We did that trade before, you know. We did UAL. We covered the whole thing on UAL. You know, and so on and so forth. Dallas, UAL, IWM, Google, AMD. We did AMD, 1335, covered the last half. You know, we did win again. Oh my gosh. What was that? 2 times. You know, did Google again. You know, Lowe's we did. GS we did. KSS, X, AMD. That's when we shorted it. Priceline, covered the last half. That was before. We did the light swing, the FL, the intuitive, SPY again, Facebook, X again, X, HD, Netflix, IWM, Twilio, HD. Oh my gosh, I'm on 2 trades. I'm losing, guys. iRobot, we did that one. I mean, look at them all. JP, TIFF, ExxonMobil, Apple again. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Cat, win again. Wait, win another one. Oh my gosh. Google twice, GS again. You know, I mean, Qualcomm. You know, I mean, see that one. Thor was an epic one. AZO was epic. You know, that's what I'm saying, guys. There's so many trade we did this one on a day trade. We did the XBI. And then I got one guy saying, well, your Apple trade's getting killed. And it's like, really, dude? Come on. I don't know how many trades I've done. That's why I say 1, 2 trades, I don't care. I'm a scalping madman. So that's the part he doesn't get. So anyways, CBIO looks like danger. IO. Let's see here. I don't even know what this one is. Daily. Is it starting to go? Gosh, I don't even know what this one is. Yeah, I mean, I don't play this is all on news or whatever it is. But here you had the gap fill at 1602. You had double top, but you also had big resistance back here. Right on this little pivot there with some good resistance, and that's pretty much where it stopped. For me, I wouldn't touch this one. I mean, that shit. If you bought it $5 and you didn't sell it 18, 16, and you're an idiot. I'd have been out because this thing can easily come right back down and it's done. But yeah, I don't. Island Sound, I don't play these. I mean, if you got that one, that's a great trade. If you're still in this thing, start. It's up a little bit after hours. Get the hell out of it. Could go up or take half off something. Protect it. You wake up tomorrow, we're straight back down, and you don't want to give up a great trade like that. Do you buy bear ETFs instead of shorting? Sometimes I will. I could short, so I usually just short stuff. But yeah, if you want to take bear ETFs, you can short. You can take the SDS, the TWM, the QID. You can take the XBI on the biotech short, or I think LabD or Labu or something like that. That's one of them. And then just stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do, sure. Depending if I want to get a little bit more leverage on it and go with a smaller size, I could do that too, sure. Let's see here. AMD and NOK, please. AMD I've done, but I could do NOK. I haven't done that one. Yeah. Well, again, had a nice run from $4. That wasn't bad. If you're in it from down here, I mean, I don't follow this one. I think this is you got a lot of news and stuff too, I think, in this one as well. But I mean, you're above the 750. But look at this. You got down. You got a little sideways retrace. This is slightly bearish now. You're still above the MA, so it's a little bit bullish as well. You did fill the gap right here. There was a gap. Wow. Yeah, you filled this gap. You still have a gap up here and the highs. And of course, you got the high right here. But yeah, I mean, this right now to me setting up possible for lower prices. As long as you stay above the moving average, it should be good. This thing starts to slip under here, you're gonna just tighten that stop up and get the hell out, because this can easily come back down to 450. The market's dump, it can easily come back to 4. But you know what? If you're in it from $4, you had a hell of a run. Start chiseling something off. You go a little bit higher. This resistance 583 and then 599 up in there, you got to chisel the rest off. So for me, it's not a play, but it already had a hell of a run. If you get a little bit more, why not? But just put that stop in there, trail it, and protect it. Again, if it gets below these, it's probably going to go lower. If the markets give it up, it's definitely going lower. So just be careful with that. Yeah, TZA should be going long as Sergey short. Yeah, exactly. You got it. Yeah, TZA is not bad. I used to play that, but if the markets sit around for a while, that thing will just deplete like an option, like the VXX. So that's pretty tough. Would you post your open posts on your site every night? I do, like a lot of intraday stuff I'll do on StockTwits, but the swing trades, I'm just going to do a post on my spreadsheet. All the trades I'm not really going to keep track of. Down the road, Gary, if I do the chat room in my room and all that stuff, like a StockTwits thing, then I'll post more stuff on there. But the intraday stuff, I mean, most likely I'll be doing live stuff. So when we're doing it, I'll be giving the trades out there. So if you're in the room and you see the trade, you just write it down and put it that way. I try to put a lot of stuff on StockTwits, but sometimes I'll stop out for a loss, or I'll take the win, I'll take it off for a win. I don't even post it. I got to go back through 50, 60, 100 posts to try to figure out where I went in and entered. Now, if like Apple or the win trade comes in, those are relatively, recently in the last couple of weeks. If you start going a month out, it's just hard to follow. So I did start a spreadsheet on my stock site. So if you go to StockBookie.com, I'll just show you guys real quick here. This is the one I'm starting to do, just to explain it to you. This is where I'm at now. These are some of my positions I have. It's all free, my site, so don't worry about it. We had a CMG, Priceline, Adobe today. I got the dollar sign in there. I should take those out, but I'll short right now. We'll go long. It's just a matter of when. And then when I add, I'll add more right here. And I'll add 1 or 2 times. I'll add 3 or 4 times if I have to. But, depending, if I'm going to do a $10,000 position in PM, I'll start with 2,500, do another 2,500, get my average here. If it starts really going against me, then I'll put the 5,000 at it, get the average up a buck or two more, and then boom, we're stuck in it, and doing it that way. But a lot of these are high flyers. I think all of them are some of them are in the money, most of them are out of the money, but I'm not too worried about it. All small positions in here. Eventually, I will not be in all these positions. I can't be in, 60, 70 positions. I mean, I can, but I want at least $10,000 positions in a stock. If it pulls back 10%, you get $1,000. If you lose 10%, you lose $1,000. Keep it very consistent with that. But that's on the site. That's all private stuff. So, but again, you just got to sign up. It's free. So it's not really private. Eventually, it will be. Where no one can see it and stuff like that. So let's see what you post. Yeah, so stock twits is mostly my stuff on there. Sandro says, power trigger trade, Sandro says. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, he's a good guy. I don't know, but he just keeps knocking me. And it's like, dude, I'm a swing trader, That's what I do, and I explained to you guys, if you don't go more than 10% of your total portfolio, you can handle like an Apple, you can handle it going $14 against you. It's not going to kill you. That's what, whatever. Whatever. But he keeps sharing my stuff and keeps talking crap, which is fine. But the funny thing is, guys, they all did that to me before the big fall in 2015, and that thing fell, and then all these guys who just trolled me to death, they all blocked me because it's just kind of funny. It's like, guys, that I'm putting out trades because I'm thinking these markets are going to pull back. How do I follow StockBookie? StockBookie.com. That's all my stuff. Or punch it up in Google. I'm on Twitter. I'm on StockTwits. I'm on Google. But my main one is StockBookie.com. That's where you follow me. Have you covered AMD? Any thoughts on long? Have you covered? Yeah, I covered AMD. It's in the beginning of the video. I wouldn't do anything with that now. Neon, I'd let it come back down. Let it come down $10, $11, and then start to nibble. It just had too hell of a run. I can't buy something. I mean, when we went short in this one, everyone laughed again. We went short right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. We covered last half at 13.35. Gap window, and then the gap fill. Anywhere in between there, I was out. Done. And then everyone ripped me. Oh, you're an idiot. You're probably still short. I said, dude, my short's already done with. I'm stocking stuff here. I'm just making videos saying, guys, this is what I'm seeing. It could go up. It could go down. It gets above the trend line, then it's probably going up. You still have good resistance. You stay below the trend line, get through the 50 MA, market start breaking down, you're going down there. Pretty simple. Short AMD, nah, I wouldn't do anything. It's not really showing me anything at all. I mean, if you want to short it, let it pop up one more time, maybe the double top, and then give it a shot. But if it's chopping around like this, someone's in there, maybe a market maker, maybe an institutional player, just popping it up and down, shaking people up and down. So how are you going to guess like that when there's no real pattern? I can't. When it popped up right there, I had to short. There's resistance here. It's 1467, 15 even number. The Pierce of, you got to take a short. And this was funny too. So I'm in this thing from 1526. It pops up to 1555, and I get all the bulls on AMD. You're a moron. You're this. Oh my gosh, you're gonna get steamrolled. And then boom, boom, boom. I'm out of the trade. And then all the guys who talk crap block me. It's like, oh my gosh. It's like, why wouldn't you want to sell here? You could have bought it back a couple bucks cheaper and been long again and saved $2. I don't know. All right, so let's see. I am seeing a rotation XRT and possible XLE starting here, intermediate term. You know what, Gary? I'm seeing rotation out of the complete markets, out of the SPY, out of the IWM, out of the Qs, out of the DIA. They are rotating money out of the markets. Believe me, they are. Labu is bearish. Okay, is that the inverse to the IBB? I think it is, or to the biotechs. Do you suggest Apple is as bullish? No. Apple, I added position today, but in my list of stocks, we did add a short today on my StockBookie.com site, and the one that we took today was just more of a short-term trade. I'm hoping this thing pulls back. I get a buck or two out of it, and I'll be out. But I'll still be in a swing trade because I'm going to run that one a little bit longer. I'm thinking we could come right back to gap window and then possibly fill this gap right around the 121. And if the markets are giving it up, I think Apple can easily come to 115. So, but yeah, short term, I'm hoping to get a couple bucks out of that trade, make a quick couple, cash, and then I'll be still in the swing trade riding this thing down, hopefully. So that's how I'm playing this one. But yeah, no, I mean, it's slightly bullish. You got a bullish consolidation. You're above the MAs. It could still go up a little bit more, but I'm playing it with the markets. Eventually it will turn and roll over. They always do, guys. They always do. Hi, John, J Nug, Suzanne. You're killing me. Killing me, Suzanne. J Nug, you're back below the 20 MA. So right now it's fighting for dear life. You are holding the support here right around 16 or 637. As long as it holds that, you should be okay. You are in an inside bar, slightly bullish pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days sideways. Let's see if this thing pops up and continues higher. It could, got to get back above this 20 MA, which is at 662. That's the first step of the process. Just like the GLG trade, guys. Talked about that. As long as this thing stayed above the MAs, you'd be fine. Once it got below there, we talked about this bearish pattern here, and it was like, it's like, all right, let's see if this thing's setting up to go lower. If it goes lower, I'll have to buy a little more down here, and it didn't. Boom, right back up. And we talked about this resistance too. Right now, we're chopping and slopping. That's the thing I don't like about JNUG. This thing goes sideways for another week, JNUG's going to fall. I don't like that trading vehicle. Once you get a move on that, you need a big move like this. You go sideways, though, for a couple days, this thing starts to rip. JNUG will rip heads off. So, but again, nothing yet, just into resistance on GLD. So JNUG will probably be sitting here unless we get a good push up on gold. Got to watch the dollar, though, see what that's doing as well. I'm so jaded by this market right now. Yeah, right, Jeff? Oh, my gosh. It drives me nuts. But you know what? That's why I put on a lot of positions, Jeff, across the board, and I just leave them. I'm playing mostly the ones that are extended on charts, and that's the way I'm doing it. And eventually these stocks will come in, and that's just the name of the game. You want to pick on the ones that've been going up and up and up and up and up and up and hyped, and stock buybacks and upgrades and double upgrades, Kramer hyping. Those are the ones you want to play, because eventually, if and when these markets slip, those are the ones that are going to get beat up the most. You don't want to go short in something that's at the bottom. You want to short something at the top. Just like you don't want to buy something at the top, you want to buy something at the bottom. That's how we do it. And speaking of that, we were buying oil positions in the beginning of 2016, and that's what we did with oil. As everyone was jumping off the hill, we were buying stocks like KMI. They're all slowly coming in. But look at these plays, guys. We were buying right here. January right here. This is when we were picking up KMI. Boom. And our plan was sell them in July and August. Took off that one. We did that one. We did TRGP. Look at this. This was the gift of a lifetime. So we started adding when this thing was breaking down here, kind of breaking down. We started on this bar here, comes in, goes up, retraces double bottom. We load the house right here. Look at that play. Again, sold them in July, August. And it still kept going. That was another one. What was it? These are off the top of my head. ETE, I think another. Yeah, ETE. February, look at that. All these at the low. Came down here, and when the markets were giving it up, came one time back, crossed the $5 level. You got to start buying. You step up there, and look at this move. Sell them in July, and it just kept going too. That one was one. ETP. But everyone was jumping off the cliff. We were loading the house on longs. This one was great too. Took this one here, sold half here, sold the last half here, came right back to double bottom. What do you think StockBookie did? Short it here or go long? Long. Loaded the house, boom, sold them in July. This one went up a little more, but it's slowly pulling back. Gosh, there's a bunch of, what was some other ones? TRGP. They're all like LLPs. It was a guy I was consulting, and My gosh, that this was just, these were just trades of a lifetime. And that's what I was telling when USO was coming down, we had levels down there. This was right here. And I said, if we come down to this, first $10 level, we're going to look for, I said, I still think we're going to the 9. And if it really starts to break around $8, if this thing hits $8, starts to pierce, it could go to 7, but that's when we're going to start loading it. And then boom, right up. As that oil went up, they all went up. It was just epic. And now we're right back down. Look at this. This is still a big bearish pattern in oil, so be careful with that. AAIO, we looked at that one. Don't touch that one. I mean, if you're in it, just cover it or take some off the table. Maybe you get a little bit more up. Sal Q was last to enter the Trump rally. Will be the last to exit. IWM, SPY, DIA are all under their 10-day move. Yeah, you know what? You got to watch the IWM and the IYT, Sal. Those are the ones that are going to be the leaders. Those are the ones that's going to be the laggers. But remember when the Qs were leading that time, and all of a sudden the Qs, and remember when Google and everything just took a big dump? So you got to watch out for that too, buddy. So yeah, so overall, right now everything's just stretched. You got to just be really careful in these markets. Is one day, just like Monday, everyone was like, "Ooh, imagine if we would have been down another 300 today, and then another 200 tomorrow, then 500 on Thursday, and then 1,000 on Friday." Got to watch out because at any moment something will creep its ugly head up. And they're just starting to talk about subprime car loans. So the mortgages are kind of iffy. And when they just starting to talk about that crap on CNBC, it's already over. All the roaches are out there. When there's one roach talking about it, there's 42 more right behind it. So be really, really careful. But the Qs, yeah, the Qs, nothing wrong. Everyone's in the tech. Everyone's buying the apples, buying this, buying that. But what I love about the Qs, I love that it's an inside bar, retraces almost to the high. I want to see it go above the high on some volume, no volume, and it just floats through. Just more crap. We could still float to 134, 135. We got to get above this big red bar first. If we don't do that, then we're going to watch choppy, sloppy consolidation. But in the meantime, they'll take care of the puts if you bought a put on this one. Because, most likely when that thing drops, all the retail small guys buy puts right down in here, and then they stick it up there, you know what. And then they hold it here for 3 months, kill them all, and then they'll drop it in their face. That's pretty typical for these guys. All right, CCI. CCI, you got double top here. This is what all these are doing, guys. They're going right through, huge resistance, Pearson going up. CCI. Let's see. Yeah, look, I was going to say, let's see. There's got to be something else. 95. You got a big gap fill here. If you could wait patiently for this one, I love the retrace on this coming back up. But big resistance here. Gap fill, then the 100 even number, and there might even be another pivot back here at 100. Yeah, of course there is. You got this pivot, so it could go up a little bit more. Let's stick a fib on the big area now here. I just want to say, yeah, 618. God, that's big resistance too, and it popped right through it. My gosh. I would say 96, 91 to the $100 area, somewhere in here. If this thing keeps going, if it pops up, if it gets a good rocket ship straight up, maybe in this pivot, maybe you can add more. That, of course, that's when you buy a put, boom, and then it rejects. But yeah, right now this could go a little bit higher. We're making higher lows down here. So nothing wrong with the charts. If this thing comes in, breaks this low and gets below here, then you're going to have some problems. But right now, nothing wrong. 618 blasted through that like normal. Usually that's the big level, the 618. You got to pivot and look at it right through it like it's nothing. So again, that could have been the head fake. We get a reversal, then most likely this thing could possibly go lower. So be careful with that one. If you're long, tighten that stop. If you're shorted today or anywhere in this area, you're okay. If it moves up to here or even to the 98 area, you could probably add a little bit more. If you want to really wait patiently, the $100 even number is even a better area. So you could do it that way. All right, let's see here. J Dust. Yeah, I don't really follow those, Frank. I just they have no rhyme or reason to me. Gosh. Let's open it up. Yeah, I mean, J Dust, honestly, if you look at this pattern, that's setting up in a bearish manner to go lower. That's how I'm looking at this. So be careful with J Dust. That's an inside bar, bearish pattern underneath the moving averages. This is setting up for lower prices. If it cracks the 1167, Is there even an area back here? No. If it cracks that, you're probably going to 10 bucks. I'll put that in there, right around 10 bucks or so. So be careful with that one, Frank. Let's see. John, targets on PM, please. Want to short it again, in and out once. All right, cool. PM, I mean, this is another one. This is like a safe haven play, so people are getting into this one. Did have a nice pullback. We did come into gap fill, 20 MA, so it did bounce. Let's see if we can get this pattern here. It did. Hold on. Let's see if it filled the gap today. Man, just missed filling the gap. But this down sideways, that's a nice bearish pattern. Let's see if it plays out. But again, people are buying protection just in case these markets are selling. So they get into these, the Johnson & Johnsons, the Procter & Gamble's, the 3Ms. But eventually, if the markets do give it up, it's not going to matter what stock it is. It's all going down. But right now, we're down and sideways. This consolidates for another 5-6 days. This is setting up for the next leg down. The reason why we're short this one, you're extended on the weekly big time, and you're extended on the monthly. Another high flyer. Look at that. You go straight up through a big area of resistance for no reason because it's Philip Morrison or whatever their name is. This could easily come back down to 94 bucks. So let's see what happens. Let's see what the monthly chart gives us. You know, still good though, still fine. You know, on this one, you still had some nice push through. It looks like you might close above this high on the monthly. You know, if it goes up a little higher, you're thinking maybe 120. It breaks out, and if this doesn't break out, you're going to come right down to this trend line right around 106. Then you'll probably, 105, 102, then 99, and then the 618 and the 20 MA right around 96 bucks or so. But those are the targets on that. Looking back on the daily, I do like the fact you got a couple tails up here. I mean, you can honestly, if you're in this done short, if you get above the say 115, let's go 116 area. That's where you got to think about, okay, it could go to 120. So stop out, do it again at 120 and do it from there. If you have a smaller position though, you could take that, $6-7 stop out. It's not going to be, be a killer. But again, you did almost fill the gap. Let's see if they gap it up, or do we just go sideways, setting up for the next wave down? So if you are short with that one, just ride it. If not, if it does retrace up, I'd probably take it around 114 even number. I mean, double top would be spectacular, but even if you got the 114, it wouldn't be a bad retrace to start reshorting again. So Apple going straight to 200 with no pullbacks. Maybe. I don't know. That's what it seems like. Oh, 200? No, I don't know about 200. 150 maybe, but 200? Nah. I mean, the way it feels like, sure. Right now it's just like, oh my gosh, here it goes. So, but no, you know what? Nothing wrong with Apple. Nice pop up today. Gotta respect it, guys. You had some bullish consolidation. Not my bullish consolidation, just choppy, sloppy, light volume. Nice pullback comes in, hits resistance or hits support, and then bounces it right back up in everyone's face. Because everybody went short the other day. But again, you rip right through resistance right here, and it's going. Well, you have to respect that. But for me, as a technician, it gets above double top here. You got to start, doing something with it. You got to start picking on it. 142, 143, 144, the even numbers. 145 will be a big play on this one, and stuff like that. That's how you got to do. Your early success, yeah, I hear you. I had that too. Same thing. Everything I bought went straight up. It was great until it all went straight down. Then then they pretty much took everything I made. I actually got out with what I initially put in, but it was like, oh my gosh, I just gave up how much money? In a short time frame too. It took me 5 years as it was going up, and then it took 1 year to wipe me out. And I started doing it again, and then wiped me out in 2007. And then that's when I said, oh my gosh, I got to start learning this stuff. And I'm still learning, guys. I really am. Let's see, the ES. Yeah, I don't have, actually I do. I don't even have the ES on here. It's all I do, but I have another chart for that one. Or I pull up Thinkorswim sometimes and find it on that. Are you familiar with the W technique, double top, and is forming on JNUG? Sorry, guys, my allergies are killing me again today. JNUG. Let's see. So you're saying, yeah, the W? No, there's really no W on here. Yeah, no, I hold on, guys. I don't know what I clicked there, but it makes my volume disappear. It's like, what? The volume's very important to me, at least. Let me put that back down. No, there's no no real W bottom. Gosh, there was a. Let me see. Let me find. I think ExxonMobil had one at one point, but it was at a great. Was it Exxon? Gosh, I can't remember the chart off my head, but there was a great W bottom that just ripped heads off. Oh man, what was it? Could have been Win even. Yeah, I'll look for that. Yeah, no, I'm familiar with W tops and W bottoms. Yeah, I mean it could go both way. Well, here, I think this is a pretty good one here. Dang. So comes down. You got this little W here. As long as it holds that, doesn't crack this line, and I like how it retraces back to here and then takes off. Once it gets above this head here and gets above this guy here, you're off to the races. See, this was another one too that we took long. So as Win was getting its butt kicked and butt kicked and butt kicked and butt kicked, the guy I was consulting, I said, if this thing comes right around 51 bucks, 52 bucks, I mean, 50 bucks would be a dream for me. We're going to start nibbling on this one. We ended up doing, this was a while back. This was in 2015. I think we did 25,000 shares of Win, and it went up from 50 bucks to 75 bucks. We were out of the trade way before that, though. But look at that. So we got in this trade right around 52 bucks. And for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days straight up to 75. Pulled back, da 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 da. But then, it takes off. We shorted here, we shorted there, we shorted here, we shorted there, we shorted, and now we're short again. But yeah, I mean, that was an epic long. But when this thing was coming in, everyone was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And it was like, we're going to step up right here and we're going to buy this stock. And the reason why we did that, if you go back, I don't know if you can see it on the weekly. But if you look at the charts, where was it? Yep, right there. We had a gap fill right there. And that was the reason we stepped up to the plate there. Gap fill, and when you have a retrace, when you have a pop up and a retrace back to that gap fill and then it takes off, that's going to be a big level right there. And look at that. I mean, you couldn't do it any better. And then the best part about this trade, it went straight up, chopped around, straight back into that area again, bottoming tail, retraced to the low, and then took off. What do you think we did here? Long again. You have to go long. 2 tails here on a weekly chart. Oh my gosh, you have to. But yeah, I'm familiar with the W bottoms. There was one, I mean, that was one of them. There's some other ones too that could possibly go. And Win, honestly, this is a great bullish pattern. Choppy, sloppy, choppy, sloppy. But you know what? We traded this one here, 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 here. I'll do it again. I don't care. If it goes to 131, so be it. I'll get my butt kicked. I might stick around. We'll see. But you still have a big area here, around 131, 117. And you still have to get above these areas and confirm on my book, the way I confirm. We'll see. Come weekly chart, we'll see if this can hang out up here if it pulls back. That's how I'm looking at this. Markets pull back, it's going to be all over, guys. Remember what John is saying, guys. It's easy to make money in a straight. It is, exactly. Much more difficult when the table turns. That's why I say, Frank, everyone's a trader in a bull market. I've had friends that the guys who taught me, they've seen people just get wiped out. They're all talking crap. Oh man, this is easy. Oh man, I quit my job. I'm a trader now. And all of a sudden the markets turn and they're like, holy crap, what the hell just happened? And they keep buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip, and boom, they get their butts kicked. Damn, guys, can't talk anymore. FCX, you know what? You had a great launch here. That this was such a great dip right here. I think it was double bottom too somewhere, pretty sure. Yep. No, I think it's got to go back a little further. There you go. There's your point, guys. And how did I know that? So I was in this trade too. Yep. I consulted one guy for a year and he had a crap load of money and boom, we took that trade too. I mean, you can't double, you got to step up $5. All the institutional money will come in if it drops past 5 and right back in, right to 13. We didn't ride the whole wave, but this one we put a shitload of shares and made a couple $100 grand. Damn, sorry guys. Yeah, this one, I wouldn't do anything to it. They're actually right up the street from me. I'm in downtown Phoenix, right by their headquarters. But yeah, on the daily chart, you have a little bottoming tail. It's coming back up into this area here. And gosh, for me, this would have been a spot where you would have bought it. You'd be, half out right here. You're coming into some resistance up into the 20 and the 200 MA. I was going to say, let's see, is there a gap here? Yeah, there's a gap down here that we filled. That was pretty much your stopping point. And if you put the fib on here, there's probably another, maybe 618 green line. Yep. Of course there is. There's always reasons, guys. Green line, 618, bounces up, comes back in. They got everybody long here. They shake them out one more time, fill the gap, right back up. And whoever sold down here is chasing it here, not knowing that there's more resistance coming up, and that could be a possible pullback. So if you're long this one, tighten the stop. For me, though, there's really no play on this one. We played it down here at the $4 level. That's where I like that one. PM broke out at 105 and pretty much went straight up. Yeah, everyone's buying that one. It's called protection. It's PM. You got to get in it. This one's the best one yet. It was that resistance too when we got in there. It just ripped through there, a little bit of a bullish consolidation, back up, and then rolling over. This too. A lot of people got shaked out here. Comes right back in. They're rebuying. All the people got shaked. Oh man, here it goes again. I got to get back in. So I think it'll retrace back up and maybe the next wave down. Again, I'm looking more on the now I got a volume thing on the top. What the? It's got to be a bug in this one. Let me pull that off. Yeah, so we talked about this one earlier. If it retraces up, if you took some off the table, retraces up, do it again. Rinse and repeat, guys. Let's see, weekly 428 put. Is that the one you would do for the CMG one? Yeah, John, if you emailed me, I'm going to look at my emails in a little bit. That would be the best bang for the buck on that Chipotle. Okay. I'll look for, if you email me, I'll look for email. I'm going to write your name down. And then the other reason why, John, I want to ask you, why would that be the best one to buy? Like I said, I'm all shares, guys. I'm big at writing calls and writing puts on up moves and playing the premium decay. I do a lot of that. But when I'm buying puts or buying calls, you got to be spot on with those guys. And then they're tough plays. I'd rather write the calls, write the puts, and play the decay. It's easier for me to do that way. But the easiest way is just to buy shares. For me, that is. I run a Slack trading group. Works great, and it's free. And it's free chat room. Most charge for the hosts. Yeah, okay, cool. Parabolic tower charts. Oh gosh, Frank, everywhere. Let's go through the monthly charts. They're everywhere. Those are the ones you want to pick on. If they go up, again, small size. If they go up a little bit more, just be ready to add to the position. Don't go all in. That's how you got to play these guys. Slow and steady, and then go from there. All right, let's get through some other stuff here. Who's crossing the VIX every day? Nobody. It's just going down with the markets doing nothing. As that thing goes, as the markets go up slowly, hold on, the VIX is just getting killed. But eventually you will see if the markets are big time green one day, how was the VIX? Yeah, it's down. But you'll see the markets will be green one day, maybe up 200, and the VIX will be up all of a sudden. That's just people buying protection just in case if the whole thing starts to tank. People are new at $12, $11 the VIX. You got to take a stab. I think options 2 to 3 months out that have the high volume are the best. Anything less than a month or two, too risky and too volatile. Biggest thing is to make sure the option is liquid. Yeah. For me tomorrow, I'll do 10 options, 5 options. nothing big, nothing big at all. That's why I keep saying too, small positions, guys. That's how you're going to withstand the pain in some of these trades. You make the most money option by calling the time. You'll make the most on the option by calling the time frame. Okay. All right, who's crushing the VX at? John, how do you join the private chat? We spoke on StockTwits multiple times. Nothing right now, options trading. I'm working on that. I'll get something in there eventually. I have something now with a couple guys and girls in it. Send me an email. Let me know your name for options trading. Let me know your email. I think you might have before. We just really haven't done any private chats lately, but I'll put you in that room too. And you can bring your skills as well. So, and John Courts, if you want to do it as well, that'd be great too. But I'd still like to get a couple guys in there and just talk about options and just almost have like a round table, guys. Do some podcasts, have some good traders join me. Put it out there, have people talk about it and stuff like that. Let's see here, PFE. Where is it? I'm looking at it like, wait, where am I at now? PFE? Is that Pfizer maybe? I don't even know what this is, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. Let's see here. So we came up in this area. We came to the top of this breakdown bar, which is right here. Yeah, I mean, that's your area. That's where it would start. That's where it popped up, retraced, came right back in and broke down, went right back into that area. I wouldn't doubt if there is a 382. That's a 618 retrade. Yeah, right to the 618. That's pretty much where it stopped. I wouldn't doubt if it overshoots it and comes into the $35 area. If you're long in this one, tighten the stop. If you start getting below the moving averages here, you're going to have to think about saying, hey, you know what? Let's just give it up, especially if you're down from here. You are making, well, this one made a lower high. Not a big deal, but as long as it keeps making higher lows, you're in pretty good shape. You can stick a trend line down here too. And yeah, that's it right there. That's going to be your line in the sand too. But right now, I couldn't go long or short in this. You're right into about the 50% area where it could go either way. It is choppy, sloppy, bullish action, but market stump, it's going to be over, guys. And that's how I'm playing these markets. So Dow starting to get megaphone top. Let's see. I could do the DIA. Let's see. I don't know if it's really not on the DIA. I mean, you can make a case for doing like this. Then what? Maybe coming up on this one here, maybe? Okay, you could do that. That wouldn't be too bad of an error. I got a lot of crap on here, guys. Sorry about that. Let's take that out. Yeah, you can. Okay. Yeah, if you get back above the trend line here, then you're probably going to the highs. If this thing starts to consolidate, which it is inside bar pattern, then you're probably, you're going to retest this area down here. If this breaks, I'm still thinking 190, guys, down here. It'll still come up across the, 200, 198, but eventually you're looking at the 190 area too. So let's see if you bought, let's see something here. All right, hold on. Gosh, I'm having problems with my thing again. Come on now. All right, Sal. Oh yeah, my buddy, huh, Sal? Hey, thanks for posting that. That's awesome, dude. You're the best, Sal. If you bought the weekly March 29 SPY calls this morning, you would have made more money than if you would have bought the monthly April 21 calls. And yeah, I understand that totally. This is playing the safe play, the April 21s, but the SPY, yeah, the weeklies, yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. Once in a while, there's a couple guys on StockTwits where I'll tell them, all right, short this one, short that one. At the end of the day, they'll be like, oh my God, dude, that was the best call. I made 300%. It's like 300% on what? Well, you told me to short Google and I did the weekly Google or whatever. It was a Monday and they took the Friday Google and basically in and out for a 400% return where it's like, damn. Yeah, RH huge pop. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if they had earnings. Is it up into that area yet? Yeah, see 46. We were talking about the right here, 48, 46.82 area, right in this, 43.77, 44. That's pretty much where it's stopping. Tomorrow, if it gets up into 47.88, and then if it comes here about 50, 52 bucks, fills the gap, even 50 to 52, that's probably going to be your area possibly. If it goes up a little higher, it'll be 55. I'll be watching this one tomorrow, guys. All right, so basically, if you know the move was going to happen tomorrow, you would want to be closest expiration option to yes, I do get that one. See, I'm just trying to figure out like the delta, gamma, and all that crap. So when something goes up, you know, like Apple today, you know, which one would have been the best option? Do you do the, you know, 144 puts? You know, do you go, I mean, I wouldn't go a week out because Friday's too close, but maybe 2 weeks out. That should get that, you'll get the best bang up, you know, for your money possibly. You know, stuff like that. Lulu ER tomorrow. Lulu been running Nike and UA into earnings. Okay, let's see. So Lulu earnings tomorrow. I don't know if it's tomorrow morning or tomorrow after the close, but I mean, here's your big areas here. You got your gap fill at 59.91. You got the low around here, 54.88. Here, let me stick these in here. So here's your support, 54.08. Gap fill, a little bit close. If this thing drops, even this 54, let me look at something. Yeah, I mean, if it really drops, you're probably looking at this area. There's a bunch of different ways to play these drops and pops. But if it goes up, you're looking at gap fill, maybe double top up here. So it's kind of in between. You know, how convenient how they pop it. Pretty much it could go up or down here. But I'll keep an eye on this one. If I see anything to short or go long, I'll put you in there. But it really comes back to the markets on how they're behaving. Been running Nike, yeah, UA into earnings. SKX, is that Skechers? SKX. Gosh. Now look at this one, guys. Oh man, look at that. Right to that trend line. So well, we looked at this one. So you got a big area coming up, 34 bucks, double top, 36.66. See if they run this thing, keep this thing going. S&P did not confirm anything today and rejected a 2-9 downtrend line. Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, you know, I look at that. I could go to the SPX. Now, hold on. This is on a delay, but it doesn't matter at this point. Yeah, I mean, you're hanging on. You're hanging on to that. You have the upsloping trend line on this one here. Oops. Well, we could stick this in here too. Where did we retrace? 50% retrace. Then as well as, you know, you got this here, this trend line there. So it still needs to get above this area. You know, and it's coming up to the 20 MA again. So, you know, this is basically just this. You got a little bullish or bearish consolidation, dropped into this area, held the support at the pivot right here at the gap window, popped back up, 50% retrace. You might go up a little bit more into this area. But if this, you know, keeps going sideways down in here, eventually this 20 MA would curl down a little bit and then boom, sets it down. You know, for this one, you know, you still have a big gap down in this area here. Around 23.38, and then you have the 200 moving average around 22.10. I mean that's ultimately and a gap fill right here. You know, at this level. So you know anything's possible, guys. You know we just got to wait for pattern. But right now this is slanting up, slightly bearish. You know if you want to do the retrace from this area down here too, from this area to that area. You know, this is, you know, right to the 7.5 or the 5.250 retrace. Then you got this one, ultimately 6.1. This is your area for a buy right here, guys. This thing comes straight down into 2200, 2210, right anywhere here. This is where you buy this market. And then if the markets really start to rumble, you're looking at this big gap fill down here. So one step at a time, slowly but surely, we're coming in a little bit. Doesn't mean we can't go right back for the all-time highs. That's the way these markets are pretty much going lately. So you got to watch for that. So what are your thoughts about the past few days? Yeah, you know, markets open down Sunday night, technically get a lot of damage done. Monday morning, we opened down and we've been, that's how it is. It's just buy the dip mentality. We had pretty good volume on Monday, then the volume goes to 93 million today, and it just goes right back up. It's just, it's more conditioning, guys, where after so many months, so many years of every time it goes down, you just buy it and it automatically goes up. It just that's what you do. It just gets people to, and then the worst part is every time they go buy the dip, they go a little bit more money. And now it's, damn, I made so much money, I'm going margin now. And then all of a sudden it's like, I'm all in on the SPY or on the SPX. Oh, this is going to be so great. And that's when they pull the rug. And, you know, whether it's the computers that know all the retail traders in or what have you, that's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And whatever triggers it, I don't know. Keep an eye on China's market, the Shanghai, that could trigger it. It could be the Australia markets. I don't know. Could be ISIS, you know. But right now, you know, again, you're at the top. Even on the SPX, I can pull the chart up on here. I usually just show the SPY guys. But you know, same thing. Here's your housing or your .com crash, your housing crash. What do you think's going on up here? And I'll remove everything too. What do you think's going on here? Look at these moves. And there's a lot more to these markets than what I'm showing here. But I honestly think, guys, we're coming right down here eventually. It's going to be 1557 on the frickin' on the SPX. That's where I think we're coming. I'm sorry. And don't think this time's different from any other time. It's just the way this crap works. And when it dumps in everybody's face, that this is what I mean. You get runs like this. I mean, here's 87. Boom. You know, that was a hell of a crash too. 336 down to 216. You know, and then it goes in and slowly grinds, and then look, the takeoff comes in, takeoff. Look at this. Look at this vicious one. That's just nasty. I'm sorry. Wow, this goes back far. 1970, huh? Huh. But yeah, I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. And now we're way up here, and everyone thinks it's going higher without a substantial pullback. I mean, my areas, I'll be stepping up to the plate. You know, here again, the 1820 area, probably 1800. I'd rather buy it at this pivot possibly. You know, you got the high here, then ultimately you stick the fib on here. That's the bigger time frame, guys. You know, 250, 382. Look right here at the 200 MA. These things always have to come back. It's just the way it is. I mean, look at this one. So it gets up, comes in, almost comes back to the 200, goes again. This time, thank you, right through it, but then it's got to come back. QE1, QE2, QE3 to infinity. And there people can make a case, you know, oh, this is a bullish setup, blah, blah, blah. Slightly. Bullish setup would be a wedge coming in and then a pop. This is kind of just choppy, sloppy. And then, you know, they don't show volume on this, but if you show the volume just disappears and we're just floating at this point. But again, guys, this is why I'm short. You don't get a rally like this without a substantial pullback. And we're a little bit over 8 years off the lows, 8-year bull rally. We're running really, really thin here, guys. Yeah, I did take a look at JNUG. So far, so good. You go back to the video. I'm almost done here. I'm pretty beat up today. Rags, what's up, buddy? You're right, John. Courts on the closest option can bring the most gains. But if some news comes out and the trade goes the other way, the loss could be huge. Tomorrow, not if you have a small position. If you have $1,000 in that position, it goes against you, you're going to lose $1,000. Go 500 then. You know, unless you got a huge account, and then do 100,000. I was with a guy consulting him. We were doing $100,000 option trades. And then we'd get 50% up, and he would be like, well, we can make more money. And it's like, then it would go against him. And why we're losing, what's going on? It's like, yeah, but 2 days ago I told you to pull it for 50 grand and you didn't. Yeah, well, how are we going to get out of this trade now? I don't know. Not sure. I told there's my email. Get out of this trade. We're up over 55%. That's 55 grand. Pull it. And then, you know, we'd end up getting out of it, but you know, with some dignity. But then it was just like, wow, dude, 50 grand, you're not pulling it? I'd be done and gone, you know? Do you think it's a dead can't bounce for Google? Maybe, you know, maybe. I'd like to see Google come up a little bit more if you wanted to short it. But I mean, right now it's you get a big red bar like this, you're expecting lower prices here. But right now we're chopping, slopping below the MAs here. Until we get above the 50, fill the gap and get above here, then maybe more upside. But if we just keep chopping and slopping, and if the SPY and everything starts giving it up, then you could get short in this thing and ride it down. I still think we're going down to this area. Then ultimately, this gap fill right around 792. But that right now we have nothing really telling us that we'll do that. I mean, you have a little bit of a bearish pattern, but again, if the SPY sells or the SPX sells, it's definitely going lower. That's just the way it is. But you know what? We'll see. We'll see if it can retrace. I mean, look at this retrace. So it falls down, it retraces, kind of chops, and goes all the way back up. So who's to say that it wouldn't go? Let's look where the 618 is. Who's to say it won't go back to 855, 861? So I say everyone was laughing when we were short in here, but then when it dropped, they're, oh, you're lucky they got news. And then when it dropped more, I was like, well, it was just a good trade. Retrace on the double top, pierce through, kind of like Apple, kind of like Win, kind of like all the other ones. And then this one just gave it up. I think they had some crappy news or whatever, but doesn't matter to me if I'm short, news or whatever. Great. Basically it's going to come back in anyways. It's another high flyer. So, but yeah, our trade's done with on this one. This was more short term, boom, get out, and it worked out real well, but I mean, it could still retrace. It gets back to 861, 870, into this area here, 867. Definitely go short again. But right now, let's see what this gives us. If it gives us a quick pop up, it could do a quick drop into gap fill, 20 MA. We'll look at it then. Let's see. Do you think it's do you have that spreadsheet? Yeah, those are all on the trade. Go to stockbookie.com. It's up on that. Those are some swing trades that I posted. I have a bunch on stock or on Twitter, but I started a fresh one on my StockBookie site because I want to just start, pretty much from new. Going to Twitter, going through all those trades are becoming a pain in the butt, to be honest with you. So that's what's going on. You look at RH, yeah, we're looking at 48 to 52 on that one, Rags, just in case tomorrow. We can look at it one more time. That's what I'm looking at. Hopefully the markets are coming in pretty damn good, and then we could play the fade on that one. Right now, market's we're 3 hours behind, so I think markets closed for me at 5. So markets are closed right now after hours, I think. Times change, so my clock doesn't change here. But yeah, we're saying, well, looks like the last price was maybe 44 bucks. Yeah, we were saying right here, you got some good resistance, 47.88, and then you got a gap fill around 52. So if it does get up somewhere, I like the $50, 51 area. I don't know if it's going to get there. But if it goes to 47, 48, that's not bad. You could maybe take a nibble at it, gets to 50, then maybe, I don't know what the news is or whatever, so you might have to look at that. But then, oh, is the market still going? I don't even know anymore. At the time, maybe it is 7 o'clock, I don't even know. But yeah, if it goes up a little higher, you do have a gap fill right here around 52 bucks. So yeah, we'll have to look at it in the morning again. We had a nice move up and then another move. That tells me that there could be possible, it's going to be stalling out somewhere around here if it's not stalled out already. Let's see here. Sal, not to intrude. It's okay to tout power trigger, but the issues, are you also interested in here? Remember, we are all here too. Yeah, right. Well, yeah, Sal's okay. He's been in the room a couple times, but if he does, I'll just block him. At this point, I don't care. I'm done with these guys, and if they want to rip me on my trades, that's fine. Appreciate that, Rex. Mark W, you staying on the sidelines regardless VIX, either long or short at the moment right now? Yeah, I don't trade the VIX. That's just a vehicle that doesn't make any sense to me. And when something doesn't make sense to me, it's kind of like the VXX, JNUG, JDust. They kind of have a mind of its own. So yeah, it's kind of just like, wow, what the hell's going on with that? Like the VXX, when I was trading that years ago, I was like, my gosh, I get in this trade and markets are going nowhere and this thing just keeps decaying. And then some guy was like, yeah, because it's an option play. I was like an option? What do you mean? Well, if you buy the VXX, it decays. I was like, oh, won't be playing that one anymore, I mean, you catch the VXX on a good move, it's ripping heads off. But yeah, the VIX, I mean, you could take a nib. If you could play the VIX around 11, 12 bucks, it's not a bad, small position. I would take it long. I wouldn't short it. But yeah, I mean, that's something you want to do. So if you buy an option, stay deep in the money as stock replacement, not out of the money. Okay, is that how it works? Hey, John, Teva, Teva. Well, oh gosh, hold on. Let's open it up a little more here. I see what you're seeing, beat down play, oversold, that's, it kind of caught an area, but I don't, let me see if I can, see if I could find something else. So if we take this here, yeah, 618, gosh, it's setting up in a bearish manner. Let's go to the weekly really quick. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the retrace came right back down to double bottom. Yeah, I wouldn't touch this one. I mean, if anything, this would maybe a short. I would have waited a little bit higher, but came back right down to here. If it breaks this, if you're long, if it breaks this bottom here at 31, you're probably going to, well, look at that gap. There's a gap right. So that's the gap fill that has been holding there, but it's consolidating, and it tried to retrace. Oh man, yeah. I mean, you're probably 29.38. Then you got a gap fill down here. Looks like 27.58, and ultimately, if it starts getting around 23 bucks or so, you could probably take a stab. Again, let these markets fall. We're just at that point where they can. Anything long for me, I'm just not doing it. I mean, yeah, it's easy to say, yeah, Apple went up. Why didn't you go long? Yeah, but who known it? Apple was going to go 138 to 144 or 143 in 2 days. I mean, that's more luck than anything. I mean, to catch a bounce and go, but that tells me that they needed Apple up to keep this train rolling. So, but for this one, the Teva, just not for me. Retrace right here, and then right back down. That's telling me weaker price. That tells me they sucked in some retail buyers. Oh, and they probably upgraded it, and then sellers came in and just distributed and said, "Thank you, thank you for the extra couple bucks," and then bam, right in their face. So, any thoughts on the Brexit Article 50 tomorrow? Nah, I don't, Mark. I just don't follow news. You start following news and watching the talking heads and seeing what they're doing and are upgrading stuff. I mean, some stuff, yeah. Like Tesla, you got to say, okay, what the hell is going on in here? Oh, they got an upgrade. Elon's buying shares. Some guy did this. He's starting 4 new companies. It's like, what's going on here? But at the end of the day, it's really about reading the charts. For me at least. Reading the charts, taking small positions, spreading them around, and just keep rolling with the punches, guys. I think May already signed it. I checked futures about an hour ago. I didn't see the reaction. Oh, it is going. Now, you know what, guys? Everyone thinks it's going to be bad. It's going to be great. Everything's going to be great. Just like buying bonds and higher interest rates. Yellen raised the rates, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's good." No, it's a free money policy. It's disappearing, guys. They want free money. They don't want to pay any interest on their crap. It was priced in. I don't think it will cause any shocks in the market. Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out though. Futures green 98% overnight sessions. Who is that? Janet, is that you? Yeah, exactly. Thought on kite? On kites. I think this was another high flyer. Yeah, look at that. We talked about this one too. Boom. Look at that. Right in the double top, triple top, right back down. Gosh, this one was ripping. I hope someone got this trade because we were talking about this one that could possibly go up here. And man, look at that. Boom, right up, reversal, and right back down. No, nothing really. I mean, other than triple top Pierce and boom, triple top Kiss, I should say, didn't make it all the way up there. But it came damn close. Close enough for government work, guys. And seeing that's the power of these charts, guys, and learning how to read them. Didn't quite make it. I would have liked to see 90 Pierce, but that's what they do, guys, because everybody else was waiting for 90. So instead of making it, I mean, it hit up. This wasn't a bad bullish pattern in this breakdown bar. Now we have an inside bar bearish pattern. This thing's, this was on news, I believe, or earnings. So if that's starting to subside and disappear, most likely this thing's going to sideways down to the next leg. This can easily go to the window, right back to gap fill. So if you're long this one, be careful. If you're short, ride it out. You might get a retrace here. you know, for another, you know, entry price. But right now, this one's setting up for lower prices, in my opinion. And then there goes my charts again. Edit chart. Let's do this. There we go. Why they keep bouncing around. Let's see here. Did you already check CCI, guys? Had to go do something. Yeah, we looked at that. That's on the. You can look at through the video. Hey, thanks. Amen. John, can you measure it? Which one? 87 to 0 versus 9 until present. Oh yeah, no, Carmela, I'm not going to do that in here. I'll do that with you guys. But no, it is. Believe me, if you look at that stuff, yeah, I'm going to do some work on that one. I knew I could pull up the SPX. I'm going to start doing more work on that instead of the SPY. And it looks like heights down a little bit, but who knows with that one. But oh yeah, right, the symmetry in it, damn right. That won't happen though until we get into another recession. Yeah. Hey Raj, what's up, bud? Why wouldn't we short Tesla price on Panera? And oh yeah, short them all. You know me. Yeah, we are shorting those. And I actually put Priceline on my StockBookie.com list today. I don't have the ISRG. I think I might put on that because I have a position in that one already, and it's been going up in my face. It's small, but I could probably pop that one on my StockBookie site because that one I wanted to start fresh. I could have pulled off my trades from Twitter, but it's such a disaster, and I got to go back through everything. It's just like, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to start fresh, and then go from there. And at least, you know, new people are following me. I'd rather put new trades out there, even though I'm in some of these and stuck in some and upside down. They're not all winners, but you know, I'd rather just start fresh and say, all right, let's start doing this on my new thing. And you notice if you go to my little spreadsheet, every position's short. But again, I'll be long. You know that. We talk about that all the time. So FDS, very good stock for a swing trade. Let's see. FDS. Yeah, you know, I bet you this was a high flyer. Let's look. They all were. No, well, right here it was. Wow, look at that though. See that? See, this is the stuff we're trying to find. See, like this one, Anderson. Look at that. I mean, you got triple top right here. Oh my gosh, you can't ask for a better setup. Goes up, comes in, goes up, comes in, goes up, coming in. Man, I wish you would have seen. I wish you would have been in the room a couple weeks ago. When was that? Damn. Love setups like this. I mean, look at this. It comes chop, 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 boom, comes in. This probably catches support down here. You know, you got these little pivots right there, catches that. Boom, right back up, double top. Oh, you couldn't ask for a better trade than that. Right into it. Then it comes back. So you could have shorted here, covered half here, comes back in for the retrace stuff to these highs, shorted again. Boom, bam. Wow. No, we didn't. Right now, I wouldn't touch it. This bar and this bar telling me lower prices to come. Anything maybe right around here. You got this pivot right there too. Let it fall. And if the markets go, this could be this could be in some trouble. Oh, here, look at this. Right there. This could be a good area too. Look at this. But keep an eye on this one. If you see anything, let me know. I mean, I'll try to keep. That's what I got to start doing. I think I'm going to do a live session tomorrow, guys. During the day, I'm going to try to get my butt early to work and or to my shop and start doing more of this stuff. Yeah, look at that though. I like that. And let's start putting the pieces together, guys. So we got that trend line. See if we have a retrace down in here. 618's there, but you got a gap here too. So let's see how this thing reacts if it falls one more time into here possibly. We'll see how it reacts, guys. Bookie, did you say you would go short CMG again? Yeah, I would short that thing. Damn right I would. Don't get all crazy on me, guys. And I get these nasty emails. You told me to go short. I'm getting my butt kicked. It's like, yeah, small position though. Yeah, this is the trend line that just keeps on giving. I mean, this is the time it could break out. I mean, look at this. 1 short, 2 short, 3 short, 4 short, 5 short. Look at this retrace. You got to short that. And then boom, comes back up. I'd start here and maybe here. So 426, 436, or 436, your average price will be about 432. If it keeps going, it's going to get iffy, but if the markets dump like I think they will, this thing's going to come right back in with the rest of them, guys. AAIO, we looked at that one already, but since I like you, Raj, I'll do it again. But yeah, this one's going. I think we talked about this one earlier. Yeah, this one's almost up. I mean, maybe a little bit more here. I think it was on the monthly too. Yeah, look, I mean, come on. We were talking maybe 62, maybe. It's getting there. I mean, this could be the end of the road, 60 even number. You know, if you want to take a little stab here, just think it could possibly go a little higher. But my God, I mean, this could easily get crushed at, you know, 50 bucks, 40 bucks, 30 bucks, and this little pivot here. So yeah, you could definitely short that if you want to do it. Yeah, Fizz is just not fizzing out yet, guys. Almost there though. I mean, we've been adding, so slowly. Again, it's a stretch play. It's way overdone. It's time will come. You're gonna have to sit in this one a little bit longer here. I haven't done a ton of work on it. Just looking at this though, like every time, comes in, pulls back, goes up, pulls back, goes up, and then it's got to come back. It will. I don't know what's driving this thing right now. I think they're doing stock buybacks, upgrading it. I don't even know what they're doing, to be quite honest with you. But you get stuff like this all the way up, its time will come. You know, it's just grinding higher with the markets and the light volume. Just want to see one thing here. Yeah, look at the volume too. I mean, it wasn't bad there when they pushed it up. See how it's dropping right here? That's the weekly chart though, but it's dropping, so it's starting to lose steam here. Eventually they're going to pull the rug and it's going to go. Even on the weekly chart, it's stretched. I mean, you go to 83 from 57. It's got to pull back a little bit, and pulling back. You know, you look at this, put the fib on there. You know, you're thinking 74, 69, 64, maybe 60 bucks down in this area. You're going to have some support here with the last pivot right in that area, but yeah, I mean, it's time will come. I mean, I guess it can overshoot like Nvidia. You know, it's kind of like Nvidia. Yeah, sugar high, exactly. It's like, but it's Fizz. It's got to go to 100. That's what Kramer said. You know, don't make me blush now. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean that's what this thing's doing. It just have a mind of its own. So everyone's trying to short here, and they're shorting at the even number. You know, and we start adding shorts down in here. You know, and it's lucky the guys who got into my let's see here if I could pull it up. Like I said, I started a new sheet for the short. So if you're not short already, this one, let's see where we're at. So here's the spreadsheet. Fizz, I think it's on here. Yeah, we add a little more at 80.16. It still keeps going. Our average price is 77.91. So I still got a little more room to add on this. I'm going to try to wait for 85, and at 85 I'll do it. And then I got one more time I want to do something, and then I'll be in a pretty good position in this one. I still won't be in at 10%. But I'll still be in a pretty healthy position. But again, I'll be playing this on the monthly play, and that's how I'm going to do. A lot of these are monthly. I only went back and pretty much into the 1st of March. I don't want to go back any further. I mean, I can. Honestly, I'm just too lazy. It's like, you know what? I'm going to start a new sheet, and we're going to go from there. You know, price line, and you guys are lucky because you got better positions than me on some of these trades. Price line, I'm down here about 17.50. I'm still about 50 bucks upside down on that one. But, you know, if you're taking these trades, you got some pretty good entry prices, in my opinion. Facebook, I wish we got a little bit better on that. But, again, that's one they popped up on us out of the blue. So, but this is if you go to StockBookie.com. This is what you'll get if you join up for the free membership, and then you'll have access to this. If you don't sign up, you don't have access to it. And I'm starting to do Vimeo videos, guys. So if you don't sign up, you're not going to be able to get anything. It'll be free for a while, I think, until I get my act together. But, you know, whatever. It's not like I don't really need the money, to be quite honest with you. But, you know, it'd be nice to get paid to do this stuff. All right, guys, if you're new to the room, throw out a symbol. If you want me to look at anything else. What else? What else was I looking at today? Well, we didn't go through the IBB. I think we have to do some bio. Guys, IBB, when I'm looking at this one, if you want to short this one, I have no problem. I'm looking at this big inside bar bearish pattern. This thing plays out. I'm telling you, we're going to 160. We're going to 163. We're going to fill this gap around 172. And if it really starts to rumble, We're going here about 125. This is a huge, badass inside bar bearish pattern. This thing plays out, it's going to be lights out. And that almost you know, goes with what I'm thinking with the overall markets. If everything starts to dump, this one's going to dump off this pattern. You know, and if we test these lows to 38 and then starts going, it's going down. Now this is going to happen right away, because look at this, down, sideways for 3-4 months, and look at that blast. Now we're sideways for about 12, 13 months. That's going to be freaking blast. Now, and you know what? Bring it up here a little bit more until we get above that inside bar at 330 and fill the gap. This pattern is still going to play out. So until then, that's what we're looking for. What else here? USO we looked at. The banks, Goldman Sachs. We could take a quick look at that one. Yeah, Goldman, that one's talking to us. I mean, Goldman's not leading anymore. There's a problem. I mean, you're getting a bounce off gap fill here. Typical. I thought for sure we'd go a little bit lower. But let's see if we can bounce and retrace back up into here, 242, 246, 47 area. If you're not short this one, you could definitely do it up here. If you're short, let it retrace. Add a little bit more up here. Boom. If you were short from up here in my live sessions, I was telling everyone, short GS, short gold or JPM, short Google, short everything basically. That was a nice pullback, let me tell you. That would have been a great, buying a put right in here. Actually, that would have been the spot right there. And then as this thing dribbled, that was a great play on that one. So what else? I don't know. Anybody else want to see it, look at anything? Just punch up the symbol. I think I'm almost going to wrap this up. I've been blabbing for about 2.5 hours here. Oh my gosh, it's been a long day, guys. Long day. Yeah, these markets, let me tell you. But yeah, I'll go do some work on the SPX today. I'll probably make, I don't know if I'll do a daily video since I'm doing the live thing right now. I went over the charts a little bit in the morning. Oops. Let's see. SPX. Yeah, so we got that. So, it's got, like I said, catch the 50 MA, bounced up, inside bar, still holding on. But wow, I never went back. I didn't know this. I always usually follow the SPY. Look at that, though. Wow. 87. Look at that. Boom. That was a monthly chart. 1 month wiped out a ton of gains. And gosh. Then just crawled back. This is right when the Fed took over, guys. And then this is right where they were they were raising the rates. What do you think they're doing now? They cut them all? What are they doing right here? Raising the rates. What is that? Kind of looks familiar, doesn't it? But yeah, definitely. I'm going to look at these real close here. Hey, Rags, no problem. You know that. I love this stuff. MS. MS. Yeah, nice little haircut last couple days with the bank stocks. Yeah, wow, that's even uglier than Goldman. And look at that though. Let's see how we come down here, fill this gap right there. Man, you just filled the gap, boom, right back up. If it retrace, if you're long in this one, you could get a retrace here, back to gap fill. You get back to double top here, you got to get out. I mean, that's a hell of a trade too. $40 at 47, boom, get out. Right now you're holding these pivots here. You're back above, so but still down, sideways. Let's see what happens with this one. Right now, it's really not telling us too much other than a bounce from an oversold condition. Let's see the setup and see what happens with that. One other thing I want to look at here in the monthly. I just want to see on a bigger time frame here what we're doing. Yeah, so we still could go into the 618, but the other thing that pops in my mind is this guy. So it could still go up to 53, 54 area, but had a nice engulfing reversal candle on the monthly, and it looks like it could possibly hold. If that does hold, I would say lower prices to come. I'd say 200 moving average, and you have another couple gaps down in here around 32, 57 or so. And if the markets give it up, guys, I swear to you, these things are going to go lower. This was the Trump trade, guys. And look at that, coming right back in, and we're starting to retrade. Next thing you know, the Trump trade is going to be gone. And then the Brexit trade will be gone, and then it's going to be like, whoa, what's going on here? You still have a trend line down here too, which you're going to have a little bit of support. Symmetry is not the same, but it still could be support down in that way. The VIX, yeah, I don't know if I get that symbol, but we could take it. I could pull it or try to pull it up. I got to pay for all my symbols, Jeff, so I just don't. I could pull it up on Scottrade, but Scottrade sucks. I can't use those charts. But MU, yeah, look at that, 30 bucks, still holding. I have a post out there. We're looking to short around the 20. Yeah, I think it was 28. No, I think it was it 28 bucks, 28.06 or something. I think maybe it was 28.34. And then we say, we're not going to short there. We'd probably short around the 30. Look at that. God, stopped it in its tracks. Right now, I think it's overextended. 30 bucks was this high pivot too, right here. That's why I say around 30 bucks, even number. 29 to 73 was the. I use eSignal, but I got to pay for all my crap. I pay 185 bucks a month for my charts. Then I can use multiple brokers, use level twos. I can take these anywhere I want. I'm paying eSignal, so I can take these charts anywhere I go, and I pay them. I don't have to worry about changing brokers or, well, if you change brokers, you got to use our charts. No, I just want your level twos. I don't care about your charts. So, but yeah, you got this level here around 29.77 pure sub. Look at that. It was perfect. Even pre-market or after hours, whatever this thing was going up on, it was like 30.15, 30.21, and boom. And we had that trade. That I remember that we posted that on StockTwits, and that was a great fade. We told you if it goes to 30 bucks, it's a great fade. And look at that. Boom. Right now, a little bit bearish consolidation sideways. Just holding it up on news, 3-day roll if you want to play that, and really doing nothing, But I would wait for this one. If you are short, let it run. Yeah, because this setup here, I love that. Retrace, and now it's just chopping. You get choppy, choppy, choppy. This will be setting up for the next leg down. You get the markets giving it up, this will definitely go down faster. So the VIX, let's see if I could get that. I didn't know I could get the SPX. You usually got to pay for that stuff. It is delayed, though. Let's see. Oh, no way. I do get it. Aha! Thanks, Jeff. Holy cow. Yeah, see how it's 15-minute delay, though? If I want the real one, I got to pay for it. Then I could get it in real time. But after hours doing charts, yeah, you know what? This is a big area. Oh, you know what? I'm excited now. I'm gonna start doing the VIX in my videos. So you got this double bottom here. Wow, even the SPX. I think I'm gonna start doing my work on that too. On this one here, came in and see how it came in a double top there, and that's pretty much where it gave it up. Right back down. Man, you could almost, if you can trade the VIX, this is what I'm looking at. I'm going to go into this pivot a little bit, but you could take it here. You could probably start nibbling if you get back down to 10, 36 double bottom, add a little more. Stop out would probably be about 950. I mean, it's a wide stop because you don't want to stop out at the 10 even number because that's where a lot of people are going to be sitting there for the market makers to take them out. I'd go a little bit lower. But if you can wait patiently for 11, then go in around 10.25 and then just have a little bit left over for a Pierce of 10. But again, we're in the support. It could turn around tomorrow and go straight back up. So it's one of those where you got a lot of support because of the consolidation here. But this could going right into down in here. The moving average is going to be support. This could definitely slingshot and go the back, the other way. But, for me, I'd another 50 cents or so. It's just a $11 stock. 50 cents is a big deal on these. I would try to wait to see if you could get into this area. Maybe, it might turn and just launch, but for me, if you could really wait patiently, this is one you could probably just get in and let it roll for a little while. Because, I mean, this thing could easily double, in a couple days or so. I mean, look at this. Look at that sell-off back there. Wow, I get the VIX. Look at that. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, look at that one. Jeez. But this thing could be a beast, and that was like the fake out. Yeah, get on board and then shake them out. So then let's see if it goes back, let's see. We're coming into support. Let's see, big over here. Kind of lost for where I'm just like, wow, I got this chart here. Yeah, these are tough. These little low ball players here. It goes down $2, you're down 20% in a heartbeat. That's why half position in these, quarter positions. If you can handle 1,000 shares up and down, take 1,000. If you can handle 10,000 shares, $100,000 position, then do that. Whatever you can handle, guys. That's up to you guys. CMG, yeah, we went over that. This will be the last one tonight, guys. I'm beat up. Yeah, we added a short position right here today off this trend line. If it does go up to about the 434 area, we're going to add more. You know, we're going to hope this thing comes right in here and pulls right back real quick. If it does, hopefully the markets will pull back too. If the markets continue lower, then everything's going to go lower. So, but he got a little bit of a bounce off an oversold condition. But look at this. Down, retrace, down, retrace. You know, this is a great area right here. I like it with the trend line. But again, doesn't mean it won't pierce and go, you know, keep going up. So that's it for that one. Gosh, I'm excited. You know what? Let's see. Dollar RUT. Oh man, I even get that. Come on now. That's the Russell. Yeah, look at this. I love that, guys. Inside bar, retracing back up. Oh, this is even better than the IWM. Damn, I'm going to start doing these, guys. Are you registered, Frank? Cool, buddy. Yeah, you know, again, if you're new to the room, go to the website. You have a free membership on there. One day I maybe charge, I don't know, in the future. If you follow me and know my story, I own a printing company, and if I get money from that, I could pay a guy to do it, and I could do this full time, blah, blah, blah. I want to do this full time, though, guys, eventually. I mean, I do, but I want to be on the mic with you guys in a chat room, finding trades, banging out, you know, just trade after trade, making money. That's what, you know, that's what we're all here for, man. We're here to try to make money in these markets. You know, and again, you know, teach people money management, teach people patterns that I trade, you know, and just have some fun too. But wow, oh man, that's 5:30 my time, and I could get the RUT and everything. Oh my gosh, this is wow. All righty then, I'm going to be doing a lot of work on these guys, so I'm going to be probably starting to do the videos on these as well. It's 15 minutes delayed. I won't be doing them intraday, but after hours, I can always look at these and give levels and stuff like that. So. Other than that, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Look for the email tomorrow sometime for the live session to intraday action. I'm not sure exactly what time I'll do it. I do have a couple things I got to wrap up in the morning. So probably what I've been doing around noon, New York time or Eastern time, 1 o'clock Eastern time. So the rest of, you know, going into the close, couple hours. It's been working out pretty good, but eventually I'd love to do the intraday stuff first thing in the morning. That's when you're getting some of the best trades and fades and stuff like that. And again, hopefully I can get the chat room started on my site so we can have some chat sessions going on and we can, you know, actually talk to each other and maybe screen share and stuff like that. Just a lot of stuff to work on. And I'm only one guy's trading, running a business, taking care of my family, all that good stuff. You know, I'm pretty much an open book, guys, when it comes to this stuff and my family. And, you know, I'm just having fun here at StockBookie.com. So, all right, guys, thanks for coming to the live session. If you have any questions or comments, just shoot me off an email. Again, sign up. It's free. It's free for now, guys. I'm going to be charging $700 a month. No, like I tell everybody in the videos, you know, 25 bucks a month, maybe 35, because they take, you know, between the credit card companies, this, that. By the time I walk away with anything, it's like 15 bucks. So, but again, the money that I make from this, I'm gonna put into my company. I'm gonna maybe hire another guy to help me with the trading. Maybe have a full-time guy. I've been talking to another trader that I could possibly. I know he could do live stuff like I do, and maybe have him on the mic half a day. You know, and people won't. You know, I got to pay these guys. I'm not going to pay them out of my pocket to run these rooms and have everybody come and do it for free. For now, I'm fine. And actually, it's less stress because if I don't post a trade or don't do something or don't do live stuff, it's okay. But if people are paying me, I got to come here and do it. So I have to be ready, you know, 110% with people helping me and stuff like that. But I'll shut up now, guys. I'm rambling on. So, all right. Thanks, big guy. Enjoyed your live stream quite a lot. Hey, thanks, guys. You know, again, you know, I love this stuff. I love teaching it. I love showing people. And there's nothing better, guys, when you put a good trade on and, you know, and it happens the next day. They're not all going to happen right away, but sometimes they do. And when they do, boy, you know, we find that good area, you know, whether it's a retrace or a pivot or fibs or moving averages or double tops or whatever. And that thing goes, you know, as like Apple today, you know, we go to double top, we go a little bit further, but these markets come in, guys, you're going to see Apple win. All these shorts come in like a freaking freight train, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go over one more chart just to show you guys one thing. And I want to look at on the SPX just because I'm excited about the chart here. But, you know, I want to show you guys back in the day. We're going to go back in the day here. Actually, was it 2015 right here? Here's the flash crash, guys. So when I first joined StockTwits, I think it was right here in June. We pulled back, went up the double top. Gosh, I'm excited. I'm like a kid. I got the SPX chart. I had it on my Thinkorswim, but I don't like Thinkorswim. They charge you too much commission. It's just crap, basically. I know it's hard, but that is fun. Yeah, right. Totally. Live during RTH is great. Yeah. Oh yeah, you got it. Real time. Yeah, you got it. Enjoyed your live stream. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the nice words. But check this out, right, guys? You know, if you hung around, thanks for hanging around. You know, I have 18 people. Once I do more stuff, I'm hoping to get like 118 people, and we could go through this stuff. And you know, like the guy like Sal, he's punching that guy up. I'm sure that might be Sandro. Who knows? It's funny, guys. If you follow me on StockTwits, the guy's name's Sandro, and I've been calling him Pedro. It's gotta be pissing him off. But you know, if someone's gonna be a dick to me, I'll be a dick to them. You know. Yes, good job, Bookie. Still new and learning here, but enjoying listening. Yeah, thanks, Blake. You know, exactly. I play. That's why it's like sometimes I'm going to shut up and someone take over. And let's go over some stuff. Maybe someone's seeing something I don't see. But check this out. So I came on StockBookie or StockTwits right here in June, and I knew there was a site. We follow market cycles, guys. That's a big part of the markets too. Okay. So I knew somewhere in this time frame there was going to be a cycle, and it was going to be a down cycle. I never thought in a million years like this that was just phenomenal. I mean, seriously, that was that was just flipping insane. I mean, I have goosebumps right now, guys. But all right, let's go back here. But as this thing popped up, I was telling everyone, you got to short the market. And think, this is starting in June when I showed up on the scene. Pops back, pops up. I'm like, got to short these markets, guys. Short the markets. Comes back in. We take half off. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take half. This is the SPY, though, not the SPX. Pops back up. We add more short here. I was telling you, this is a gift, guys. Got to short these markets. Come on, short the markets. Comes back in. Hold on. Let me open this up again. Comes back in. We didn't cover here. He's like, you know, I'm done. I'm not going to get cute. But it's holding the 200 MA. That's why I was like, when it came down here and hit the first kiss, we covered half, popped back up, added. We could have done it again. I was like, you know, I'm not going to get too cute because usually when this thing hits the moving average, 10, 20, you know, keeps boom, boom, boom. Sometimes it'll pop through. But again, it popped up. And again, I was like, guys, short the market, short the market, short. Here's another gift. This last one right here. And I was like, short it. Short everything. And then boom, started. And then this is what we're looking for, guys. Is all of a sudden you get a little red, then a little red, and all of a sudden everybody exits. This is the crap we live for. You know what we were doing here? We were going long. Well, the market where at CNBC was markets in turmoil tonight at 7. How low can we go? Boom, we catch the bounce. We only got a little bit because it was like, you know what? I'm taking my money. I'm running because we can turn around, go right back down. Found support, came in, didn't short again, came back up on this retrace. We took it here, shorted, we covered at the 20 MA, came right back in, double bottom. You got to take that trade again. Took it again, rode it up half off. This is the SPY. I think we took half off right when it came to the top of the inside bar. I had to pull up the SPY. And then when it hit the 20 MA, it was like done. Because again, 20 MA's resistance. Does it retrace and come right back down? Of course, we dumped and it went straight up. But check this out then. Goes up. You can't make this crap up, guys. Goes up. Everyone's getting euphoric again. Oh, here it goes. Guess what we're doing? We're adding shorts right here. Yeah, we caught the bottom here, went back up. We did it again. Shorted, covered half, took the rest off, popped up again. I don't know if we shorted. I would have to look at my records, but I know coming down here, retrace back up to this double top. We definitely shorted here. Boom, right back to double bottom again. But on that one, check this out. You go a little further. Now you're into this double bottom. What did we do here? Long. Didn't take it for the full ride. We were out. I'd have to look at the chart. I'd have to look at my stuff. But I know, you know, for me, we get this bounce. We're half out. We get a little more. We're done. I'm not messing around. Little bullish pattern pops up, drops again. What do you think we did here? double bottom, long again. Fortunately, we didn't ride that one up, but you know, but that's what we're trying to do here, guys. Oops, so everything goes so everything goes north on me. Let's go to the daily again. But yeah, I mean that's what we're doing. I don't care again, long or short, guys. Well, now I'm out of the. Yeah, now I'm out. Oh no, actually, yeah. Then it came back in, bounced up, came back down, took it again, didn't ride it all the way up, and then it took off, and then without me. And now, you know, we went short here. You know, we took shorts, you know, at other places too. You know, adding looking for the high flyer stuff like that. But you know, at the end of the day, gosh, you know, I don't care which way we go. I just want to find a good trade and get in and get out. I'm not sticking around in this one. Gosh, I'm gonna have to look at this one later tonight. A lot of work I have to do on these guys. You know, and there's some of the, like Carmela brought up, there's some other stuff too that I'm looking at. But yeah, that's some of the stuff there. And then you got big trend line. You know, I'm still thinking this market really gives it up. We're coming to, you know, 2210. Then around 2200 is going to be big area. You got the gap fill around 2189. You got these pivots over here. Gap fill, 200 MA. This thing comes screaming down into this area. I mean, you even have a gap fill right here too. Just have to see how the charts are playing out. If we just boom, boom, right in this area, possibly for a long, you know, we'll buy it, we'll go long, but this is the one time, I swear, we'll go long, and that's when they flush it out on us. So we got to be really, really careful in these markets because, you know, the buy the dip mentality is still alive and well, but this is the time they could flush it and it goes right back here to 1565 or so. So all right, guys, that's it for tonight. That's enough. And there's more stuff. When I do the subscription, I'll be doing webinars, and I'm going to show you a lot of stuff that will blow your mind with symmetry with the markets, market cycles, possible sell-off periods, a lot more stuff that I know that I'm not even the tip of the iceberg, guys, how I trade. So again, we're finding high flyers in these markets. That's what we're trading right now. And we're going to stick to those and just keep it rolling. And once those come in, I cover that position or sell half, I get into another one. If I have 40, 50 positions out on my spreadsheet, I can't be in them all, but I'm going to keep popping out trades and hopefully popping out winners. And again, if we cover a trade or if I cover a trade personally, I'll get into the next one that's out of the money a little bit and I'll do it again. I don't care. Right now, these high flyers are going to start coming in, as well as the SPX. Look, it starts getting extended from the 20 MA. It's only a matter of time, guys. So be careful in these markets. Tighten those stops if you're long. Keep an eye on that. And these high flyers, if they start coming in, don't be shy to take something off the table. You know, you can't go broke if you're taking profits, guys. All right, thanks again for watching my videos. God bless. Everyone have a great night, and see you on the charts.